Friday night lights in the Ocean State. The Cumberland Clippers taking on the Cranston East Thunderbolts right here at Cranston Stadium in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. Let's take a look at the standings now, folks, diving right into it. Cumberland looking to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot in Division 1A, and for the home team, the Cranston East Thunderbolts, looking to salvage a season and get their first win of the year. Welcome, folks, inside Cranston Stadium, though. Stone Freeman, and now joined by Kyle Rowley, former Brown quarterback and Bishop Hendricken quarterback. And Kyle, looks to be an exciting night again, third straight week that we've had high school football.
Yeah, we got two very different teams here. A great quarterback matchup. We got one, Cranston East just trying to salvage their season, not quit on it, make something of it, and try to build for next year. And then we got Cumberland, who's trying to stay in the playoff hunt and hopefully win a championship and break over.
Now, you mentioned briefly the quarterback matchup. Let's take a little bit of a closer look at that. We'll start with the home team, and it's the junior quarterback, Ben Harding. Junior starting most of the season thus far, but didn't have much playing experience coming into his junior year.
Yeah, what's interesting is both these quarterbacks just kind of, trying to break out. So we've got Ben Harding with a hockey background. Last year being his first year, playing a little bit of JV, learning the position, and this year coming into his own. You'd never know that he didn't have much of a quarterback background, watching his throwing motion pregame. So exciting to watch him.
Now, for the visiting team, Aviles-Santos is one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the state of Rhode Island right now. What can you say about him?
Yeah, Aviles-Santos, actually a starting wide receiver for Cumberland last year, so now coming into a starting job, playing really well. What Coach told me about him is he had a brief stint due to injury his sophomore year and came out completing about 70% passing percentage, and so the coaches knew he'd be their guy moving forward into his senior year.
Well, we got a good one here today in the Ocean State tonight. It's the Cumberland Clippers taking on the Cranston High School East Thunderbolts. When we come back, it's kickoff coming your way.
Game time high school football action on Your View is sponsored by Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car. Football fans, join us each and every Friday for some of the top high school teams from around the country on Your View. Live streamed games, in-depth behind-the-scenes coverage, podcasts, and more. Check it out at yourview.com.
The right connection can open a world of curiosity for your child. With Cox, families that have a K-12 student and receive government assistance could qualify for low-cost home internet with Wi-Fi. That means more learning and more achieving. Qualify now. It's time to connect with Cox.
Prestige Auto Mart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, or the car is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, zero down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car.
And welcome back, folks, inside of Cranston Stadium in Cranston, Rhode Island. Stone Freeman and former Brown quarterback Kyle Rowley on the call of today's game. Again, Cumberland taking on Cranston East. Cumberland to kick things off. To the Cranston East Thunderbolts to start things off. The kicker is Ben Fogel tonight for Cumberland. Cumberland are in their away whites. They are on the right side of your television set, and the home team rather, the Cranston East Thunderbolts in all green, they are on the left. So again, we're ready for kickoff. The kick and the swing of the leg is a number that goes right through the hands of Cranston East and out, and it's going to be a flag against Cumberland. So Kyle, it'll start off with Cranston East ball and a chance for this team to put their first offensive points on the board since September the 20th.
Yes, an offense that's been a little bit stagnant. They have some trouble getting into their passing game. Interesting right there, Cumberland trying a little bit of an onside kick, try to hit that off. Someone actually almost paid off for them, but just squirted out of bounds at the end there.
So the quarterback today, again, for Cranston East, we talked about him in the open. It's number 10, Ben Harding, a junior, 5'10", 175. Did have a brief injury against Hendricken the last time out for Cranston East, but he did come back into the game, but that opened up the door for the second-string quarterback, a senior, Erode Milsett. So we might see a little bit of him, but a two-quarterback system that Tom Santori is running this year with 3 running backs, Josh Delgado and Terrence Sovanasingh and Andrew Amwako. 3 guys that we could see a hefty amount of tonight. One man in the backfield is with Erode Milsett, who starts off as the starting quarterback, and he'll get maybe a yard gain on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, interesting there. Tom Santori will go with Milsett to change things up, or if he needs a spark in the middle of a game, he'll throw him in there. More of a running quarterback. It looks like, yep, they're going right back to him. He'll be split out at wideout when Ben's in there. Ben Harding is in that quarterback.
So that's the first play from the line of scrimmage, and it's just a 1-yard gainer, 2nd and 9 upcoming now for Cranston East. Again, talked about it a couple times, but East, and unlike Cranston East season, as this goes to one of their 3 running backs, that's Josh Delgado, the junior, who gets the game. But Cranston East 0-5 on the year, or 0-7 rather overall, last in Division 1A here in the state of Rhode Island Interscholastic League. Cumberland 2-3, and a defense that has a lot of two-way players out there that'll play really all 48 minutes of the football game, but we've seen Cranston East go to the ground both times to start off this contest. Now it's 3rd and short, 3rd and 3. Again, it's Milsett in the backfield. He'll take off. 3rd running play. It's a first down and a little bit more for the quarterback. He's met by a couple different Cumberland High School Clippers. And a first down, Aiden Farrier on the stop for the Clippers.
It's interesting what Cranston East is doing here, something we saw from East Providence last week versus Central. So when you're an overmatched team, sometimes just spreading them out, putting one of your better athletes in the backfield to try to gain yards against only 5 in the box usually is what they'll be left with. So something that's working now. They got a first down, they moved the chains.
So it took them 3 plays, but they did pick up the necessary 10 yards and a little bit more to pick up a first down. This one is fumbled in the backfield. Milsett comes up with it, though, and he's way back, and he's going to get taken down for the sack. Coming in on the sack looks like number 50 for Cumberland, one of their many defensive linemen that we could see tonight. And waiting to see the exact number of the young man that scooped it up. But
So
it will be 2nd down.
Put themselves in tough position. And this is exactly, some of the things that'll happen when you put a quarterback in that's not used to taking all the snaps at practice. They're going to put themselves in a long 2nd down here.
So for Cumberland, that was number 58 for the Clippers today. And we'll see a hefty amount of their defense on the front 7. And that's because they have a lot of rotation in their defensive line, and rather Julian Brooks, the senior, who gets credit with the sack. This is a 2nd down and very long. They need a first down all the way up at the 49 due to the Thunderbolts. So this will bring up 3rd down. And again, Kyle, in a playbook that is mostly running plays, just granted the quarterback situation, this is a tough gainer now they need.
Yeah, well, it's tough to take the quarterback out in the middle of a drive as well. They probably like to have Ben Harding in there in that situation with the 2nd and long. So they're very limited in what they can do. Milsett, more of a runner.
So this will bring up 3rd and very long, 3rd and 20. The ball spotted at the 28-yard line. They're going to throw it, though, airing it out down the field, and it's going to get intercepted by the Cumberland Clippers. Coming up with it is Jaden Pimentel. He plays two-way. He gets the interception and back inside of Cranston East territory. So East starts off with a first down, but 2 big defensive plays from the Clippers come up with a chance for Cumberland to take their first lead of the ball game.
Yeah, as we said, not his forte and doesn't have a lot of experience doing it, even if he does have the innate ability to become somewhat of a passer for them. Great interception right there. You'd like to see him on 4th down. He knocks that down, but on 3rd down, it's just a punt return. So a good job by Pinheiro here. Catches what ends up being a punt and gets actually a decent return for the interception.
Jaden Pimentel, a sophomore, 6 feet 170. We'll see him at the wide receiver position today for Cumberland as well, but that time making the big defensive play. So it's the sack for Julian Brooks, a senior, and then the interception for the sophomore in Pimentel. This is the first time we'll see the quarterback today in this offense for Cumberland as Dante Aviles-Santos throws it long, the senior along the far sideline.
Yeah, not a bad job on the first play. Sometimes if you take a shot deep, you stretch out the defense, you let them know, I'm willing to throw this ball deep, so you got to respect it. That'll open up things underneath, but a little bit overshot there. I don't think it was quite the coverage you want to test, but like I said, that'll back the defense up moving forward.
Aviles-Santos as we get a hold against Cranston East. So this will be free yards for Cumberland. But their offense is very good. A lot of wideouts, a quarterback that can throw the ball. And Tom Centor, the head coach of the Thunderbolts, was no stranger, and he sees Cumberland almost every year. They've played each of the last 4 seasons. Came into this game knowing that Aviles-Santos can just make plays. He can extend plays. A lot different than the quarterback system that Cumberland ran last year, which was more of pocket heavy, but Aviles-Santos can just do it all as he's got trips and a whistle blown. And this one is going to go against Cumberland. It's a false start. Back them up 5.
Cranston East coming out in their base defense. They like to play a 3 shell with their defensive backs, and they'll employ five linebackers with 3 down linemen. So what'll happen, you'll see in this game, they'll usually bring 1 linebacker off the edge.
This play, the quarterback's going to keep it. He tricked the defense, and Aviles-Santos waltzes into the end zone for the touchdown. Cumberland up on top first. And they went with the read option, and it succeeded for the quarterback.
Yeah, Aviles-Santos with a great job right there. He even fooled me in the booth. I thought he gave it to the running back. His job, and in these new type of spread offenses, his job is just to read that backside defensive end. If that defensive end gets too aggressive and tries to make a play by chasing the running back down line of scrimmage, he'll keep that ball, and they like their matchup with him, an athletic guy coming out of the backfield, quarterback keeping it.
So a 37-yard touchdown run for the quarterback, the senior for Cumberland, Dante Aviles-Santos. Some wide receiver play early on in his high school career, but the quarterback, and he can do so much. His head coach, Josh Lima, knew that too, saying coming into today's game, he loves having a quarterback that can just do it all, a guy that can get after it on the mobile side but can also air it out. So we'll have an extra point attempt for Cumberland as they look to go up by a score here inside Cranston Stadium. On the road, looking to get back to 500. Snap is down, and looks like he botched it. The holder's going to take off with it, trying to get the angle and get to the edge, and he dives towards the pylon. Did he get in? He did. 2-point conversion good for Cumberland. That comes from Ryan Larson. We're going to step aside. Cumberland up 8-0. We're coming back right here from Cranston Stadium.
Come on in and discover the new Cox Solutions store. Experience a whole new level of in-home comfort. It's all right here at the Cox Solutions store. Discover, learn, and experience more.
At People's Credit Union, we believe banking is more than just a thing you do. It's an important part of your bigger picture, a journey that grows with you. We'd like to help you with your financial roadmap, be your go-to. We believe in taking the time to know you, moving you in the right direction, and lending a helping hand by providing banking solutions that work for you and your family. At People's Credit Union, we believe in your dreams because they're our dreams too.
Tonight's game time starting lineups are brought to you by Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car. Football fans, join us each and every Friday for some of the top high school teams from around the country on Your View.
And Cumberland up 8-0 on the home team, the Cranston East Thunderbolts, and a meeting between 2 Division I programs here in the Ocean State. We talked about the standings at the top of this broadcast, but Bishop Hendricken at the top, and Cranston East this year 0-7 overall. They're down at the bottom and looking to get back to 500 are the visiting Clippers. Again, Stone Freeman on the call today, joined by former Hendricken quarterback and Kyle Rowley, and Cumberland going to get some assistance. They're going to kick this thing off from the Cranston East 45-yard line. So that's why the ball spotted way up.
Interesting what Cumberland does, the way they huddle. Be careful of them hitting a line drive kick right out of the huddle, the way they have their guys bunched up and ready to run. And again here they go with an onside kick, and it looks like it's going to pay off for them.
And the ball was jarred loose, but scooping up and grabbing onto it was Eddie Insko. And it looks like Cumberland is going to succeed on an onside kick attempt. And here it is. Take another look at it.
Yeah, a lot of high school teams going to this heavy onside kick type of system where they feel like they'll get 2 possessions, possibly 1 or 2 possessions extra out of the game, especially when you're going against an offense that's been struggling. It doesn't quite matter as much about their field position, so why not try to knock the ball off a guy here and there and get yourself an extra possession, especially in the first half.
So the Cranston East defense going to have to stay back out there and deal again with Dante Aviles-Santos. He has the rushing touchdown today, and the difference maker thus far, just about 5 minutes into this contest, but Aviles-Santos went after it on the mobile side. This time the handoff goes to Isaiah Cole. Cole trying to get upfield, makes a man miss, and he gets a first down.
4 wide receivers in the game. They go with their speed sweep, and that's something I think they'll be heavy on. Just try to beat Cranston East with some speed on the outsides, and then like we said, seeing Aviles-Santos being able to bring it the other way in case they start overplaying that.
And it looks like that's going to come back after a hold against the Cumberland offensive line, but this Cumberland offense, they have Isaiah Cole, Nellie Hill, Aiden Farrier, all 3 running backs in the backfield, and they got 3 wide receivers that all have big frames, 6'1", 6 feet tall for both Shane Meerbott and Jaden Pimentel, who has an interception tonight. Then they rely on Ryan Larson and Cameron Pedro as 2 slot receivers, and they even got a tight end they use quite often, and Jack Proctor. So a lot of weapons for Josh Lima and his Cumberland Clippers. Shotgun snap that is corralled by the quarterback, and he's going to take it himself again. Gets upfield to the 40, out to the 35, and he's taken down from behind by Cranston East. But again, that's his athleticism on full display.
Yeah, so with both teams, a couple mishaps out of the shotgun formation. And, with high school teams being so heavy out of the gun, that's the one downfall is if you don't have a center that's reliable, hitting you in the chest every time, or even if he's – a lot of times you'll see 2 or 3 times where he'll snap it where the quarterback's not ready. But Aviles-Santos able to make something out of nothing right there. That's just him using athleticism. That's not the play call.
So second down coming up here for Cumberland. Second and long, second and 16. The handoff is going to go to Farrier, and he's taking a couple Thunderbolts with him as he gets inside the 30 before he's finally pushed back. But that's Aiden Farrier, plays some linebacker too, so he has a great frame that can really roll with the football, and that time makes it a 3rd and manageable now.
So what Cumberland wants to do here, and they're not in a good situation with 3rd and long, is put 2 scores up on the board and really kind of beat Cranston East. They're a down team, and if they can take the heart out of them early, it's going to make their jobs a lot easier. But it looks like they're going to have a tough 3rd and 10 right here.
And the Cranston East defense up front, they have 3 great defensive linemen, Omar Reyes Jr., Cody Leotar, and Angelo Urena. They're going to throw it towards the end zone and way overshot. Intended receiver is Shane Meerbott, another senior, but Cumberland will now face 4th down and pretty much no man's land, an opportunity to probably go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, and then just as they're not afraid to onside kick, they're not going to be afraid to go for it from the plus 30. Looks like they don't fear Cranston East's offense. Right there, just a tough read by Aviles-Santos. He's got a safety sitting on the hash, so he's not going to be able to hit that bang post. Likely he had a wheel up the sideline.
A chance now for Cranston East to come up with a defensive stop as the quarterback gets flushed out. He's going to air it out down the sideline, and we might get a flag as that ball was thrown out of play, but a clear, looks like, defensive pass interference here on the Thunderbolts.
And this is where that onside kick every time, go for it on 4th down type of offense can actually pay dividends, because you can never quantify how many 4th down conversions you would have got if you punt on every single one,
True.
right? So they go for it there. They get a pass interference. It's a gift because they're in a tough spot with the 4th and 10. They get the gift, and now it looks like they'll drive in for 7 if they can convert in the red zone.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to offset penalties, so it will be 4th down again. So nevertheless, an opportunity for Cumberland to go for it again. So they won't benefit from a 1st down, and from Cranston East's perspective, a chance to, again, get their defense off the field and send their offense, and they'll set back out there. This one's going to come up a little bit, though, so we'll be 4th and shorter. But still a 4th down now try for Cumberland.
He's got Cole directly behind him, looks like, in the gun. So watch for Cole coming out of the backfield. He's a guy that they like running the ball interior, but also catching some swing routes and some flat routes.
They're going to heave it towards the end zone again, and this time over the top and a touchdown for Shane Meerbott. 2nd touchdown of the day for the quarterback. This one through the air, but the 1st receiving touchdown for Shane Meerbott as Cumberland up 14-0.
Great throw by Aviles-Santos right there. And Meerbott's going to be the guy that you're going to see on these 4th and longs, 3rd and longs. He's the guy that they target in the air. He's the receiver that they like to get the ball in his hands. So your usual suspects here in the beginning of this game, Cole and Meerbott from Aviles-Santos.
Meerbott is one-on-one with the quarterback for Cranston East, Erode Milsett, and that one is going to be another touchdown. And Cumberland had gone for just a normal extra point try their last time out, but it was a botched hold by Ryan Larson, number 10, but he's one of those guys that can do it all, as most of the Cumberland offense can, and he took it himself in for the score, but they're going to go for the extra point attempt here on their second touchdown.
Surprising how easily that go route was dropped in, because you can see Aviles-Santos has tried that corner 3 times already on go route, so you'd think that he'd soften up like we said, but not yet.
Get a flag here on the extra point attempt. Aviles-Santos getting it done through the air and on the ground so far today. Part of a multiple offense for Cumberland. We'll wait for the official signal. And it's a false start against the kicking team. Back it up a hair.
Yeah, I spoke with Coach Lima and tried to get a lot of answers out of him of what his game plan was, or what his offensive philosophy was. It was tough to get an answer because, and I think the reason is because they pride themselves on being able to do anything against any defense. So they're going to try to, almost like the New England Patriots, they're going to try to blend themselves into what defense they're facing. And he prides himself on almost running like a college system where they've got multiple sets, they've got multiple plays, and it depends on how the game goes to what they're going to attack.
And the extra point is blocked by Cranston East, so there's an optimistic take for the home team, but it'll be their ball coming out. They did get a first down on their first drive again. They're starting another senior quarterback, Erode Milsett, and it makes sense. It is his senior day here in Cranston, and one of 2 public high schools in the city, Cranston East and Cranston West. East at the top of their division this season, the Falcons. And right now they're 4-2. But East, a very unlike Cranston East season. It's going to be a storyline we'll hit on a couple times tonight, largely based on the success that Cranston East has seen since the new wave of coaches have come through, but it's a guy that's been here for a while now, Tom Centauri, in his 17th season with the Thunderbolts, and he's only missed the playoffs 3 times in the D1 era, which starts in 2003.
He has 17 years with Cranston East, but I think 31 years overall. So it's an amazing, tenure there for Coach Centauri.
He's a fixture around the state of Rhode Island in high school football. Played collegiately at the University of Rhode Island on very good Yankee Conference teams in the 80s as they go for another onside kick attempt. This time it's scooped up by East, and East will get good field positioning out of this one. Cranston's going to start things off at just about the 44-yard line, so a chance again to get an offense moving and to get on the board first.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes you wonder whether that's an onside kick gone wrong, or whether they're just squibbing it, thinking you guys aren't moving the ball on offense historically this season, so why don't we just keep it away from your kick returners, because that could be the difference. If they get two run backs on kickoff, that would kind of supplant their offense.
He suffered a 43-7 loss last week at Bishop Hendricken High School, and it was a scoop and score from their defense that resulted in the 7 points. So again, they're looking for any type of offensive movement. And now I think we're going to take a look at their other quarterback, Ben Harding, as Harding takes off from the backfield and is met by the Clippers up front.
Just a little jab fake to the running back by Harding. He didn't get it quite in his running pocket, so you wonder if there's a read there, if that's just a set quarterback run. But if he is reading that, he's going to have a better mesh with that running back. We saw a couple balls on the ground last week in the Central East Providence game, and sometimes these quarterbacks and running backs can take for granted that ride fake. It's used so heavily in today's game that you got to remember the quarterback's not even looking at the pocket.
Shotgun snap again, and he'll take it himself. He's going to get back the yards that he lost and a couple more. Bring up 3rd and 8 from the 45 from Ben Harding. We talked about some weapons for Cumberland. And for East, well, they got 2 big wideouts too. Noah Berg, a senior, 6'3", 210. And Kevin Pinero, a junior, number 14. He's 6'2", 175. And again, that three-headed monster in the backfield with Josh Delgado and Terrence Savannah Singh and Andrew Amwako, 2 juniors and a senior. So a lot of junior-senior weapons on the offensive side for Cranston East. 3rd and 8 coming up here with about 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. It'll be a jet sweep. They're looking for a first down, and it'll be 4th down as getting to the 50. And that went into the hands of Andrew Amwako.
Yeah, they bring Amwako around. You know, both teams kind of employing that speed sweep. It'd be interesting to see if Cranston East goes for it here. They're going to have to, if Cumberland's going to go for it every 4th down, and you're going to punt every 4th down, that's not quite going to get the job done, especially when Cumberland's got the better offense,
Sure.
you know, at least this season so far.
So they need the 47-yard line for a first down. The ball is going to be spotted just an inch or two shy of Cumberland territory.
These are the games you want to see. Anywhere near midfield, we're going to get to see him go for it on 4th down. So this is going to be exciting, and we'll see what happens right here.
Harding in the backfield again. He's got 1 man with him and a couple wide receivers out to his left-hand side. He takes the shotgun snap, rushes up the middle, and gets a first down.
Yeah, so it looks like Cranston East, their just game plan is just to be heavy on quarterback runs, keep 3-4 wideouts out wide, and just try to win the battle 5-on-5 in the middle there. Very similar to the game I did last week. So Cranston East they're not stagnant too much on offense yet, so we'll see if they can keep this up. You know, in the beginning, in the first quarter of a game, what you're trying to see is who's going to win the battle up front. Everyone comes out with some energy, but the second, third drive, who really starts to show their dominance.
So East moving the ball, a couple first downs here on their second drive. They're going to go to
Good
the
timing.
air, and that one is intercepted in and out of the hands of Cranston East and scooped up by Cumberland, dancing the sideline, and picking up the interception for the Clippers is Aiden Faria.
You hate to see Harding have to pay a penalty for that because it's such great timing on the throw. He takes his one step, he gets the ball out of his hands. His receiver needs to get his head around right there. So there's just a little bit of timing problem, but I think it's on the part of the receiver. Quarterbacks always want to get rid of the ball on time, hitting him right in the chest.
And that one in and out of the hands of Andrew Amwako, a running back that had lined up in the slot, but it's the second interception of the day for Cumberland, and Aiden Farrier's got a hold of it. Aiden's got an interception. Jaden Pimentel has an interception. They've picked off both quarterbacks, Ben Harding and Erode Milsett.
Yeah, Coach Santori saying they haven't been able to get a lot going in the passing game, but you can see how close they are, right? That's not a bad play by the quarterback.
This is knocked in the backfield, and the quarterback's got it. Spin move away, and he lost the football. No, he held on to it. Had a loose grip on it was Aviles-Santos. Cranston East trying to scrape it out of his hands, but he'll get positive yards in the initial contact. It's way in the backfield.
Yeah, Aviles-Santos making 4 or 5 yards out of every broken play. So I think he made 2 or 3 moves in the backfield in order to get there. Now, one of the things you got to watch for is when guys fight that hard for yards, the ball will tend to come loose.
Second down, 6 to go, or 7 to go rather. And looks like we might have a timeout taking here, at least a whistle. And I think there's a Thunderbolt that needs some assistance, and dropping to one knee is number 6, Josh Delgado. And now both teams respectfully will take a knee, but Delgado was the first one that has a trainer coming out, and now a couple other personnel to take a look at him. And he came up limping after the interception. So as we stop momentarily, still minute 15 left to go in the first quarter, but Cumberland's defense in business and their offense looking to score again.
Yeah, you'd hate to see Delgado stay down here. Cranston East needs all the firepower they can have, and they rely on him in a lot of different ways in this game.
Well, it's always good to see an athlete walk off on his or her own power, and Delgado does just that, and we hope he can get back into this game. A junior running back, 5'9", 185, can play a fullback role for Cranston East too. He comes off and will get some assistance sitting now on the bench, but hopefully we can see him back into this contest. The Clippers, though, looking to make it a 3-score game with a minute left to go here in the first quarter of play. Homecoming and senior day for the Thunderbolts, as this is a big run and a big tackle for Cranston East. Isaiah Cole had the carry, and East had a big stoppage.
If you watch Cole run, he's not a big guy, but he runs powerfully, breaking about 2.5 tackles there, just keeping his legs high and moving. It's just exactly the way you teach these guys to run, and he's doing a great job with that.
And that was number 42, Javante Jones-Clark, the senior linebacker that had the big tackle. But it's a first down for the Clippers, and this might be their last play before the end of the first quarter. And they're going to take their time. 20 seconds and rolling. Shotgun snap, going to air it out. This time it's incomplete. And the clock will stop, so they'll get another chance. 12 seconds.
Cumberland coming out when they call 10 personnel, which is 1-0, one running back, no tight end, which means they're going to have 4 wide receivers in the game. And both these last times down, they've had trips to the top and then trips to the bottom. So we'll see what they're trying to do out of that. I mean, mostly they haven't shown a lot of throwing the ball, so mostly they're just trying to spread them out and let Aviles-Santos use his legs a little bit, and Cole back there with a little misdirection.
12 seconds left to go here in the opening quarter. Aviles-Santos gets his sign from the sideline, and his head coach, Josh Lima, has the play calling duties on the offensive side of the ball. Motion man in the backfield and some movement. And I think it's going to go against the Clippers. That wide receiver had a jump first. And it is. It looks like Cameron Pedro, number 23. Back him up 5 yards. We'll bring up now second and long.
That's what you want to see from Cranston East. Be disciplined when he's trying to use the snap count. Play a clean game. Try to stay in this game into the fourth quarter and try to win it in the fourth quarter. Cranston East wants to slow this game down. Cumberland wants to speed this game up.
Second down, 15 to go. Cumberland just whistled for the penalty.
Looks like they're not even going to huddle up here. They're going to go with the same play right out of the huddle unless they're calling it from the sideline here.
And we got a Cranston East trainer, looks like, making the jog over to the Cumberland sideline. So maybe there might be a Cumberland player that needs some assistance, and I think that's exactly it. So we get back to action, though, here. This should be the final play here with 12 seconds, unless Cumberland does go to the air again.
Look for them trying to get half of this, right? They're stuck in a 2nd and 15, so what they want to get is 5 to 7 yards so they have a manageable third down.
Handoff goes to the running back. He's going to get that and a little bit more, trying to pirouette away from some tackles. Gets through the first burst before he's met from behind by Cranston East, number 72, Cody Leotard.
Yeah, it's nice when you can hand it off on 2nd and long and give it to him and expect 7 out of him.
And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Cumberland 14, Cranston East 0, and we come back.
Prestige Auto Mart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, or the card is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car.
And now, your Game Time Minute. The top 2 teams in the country headline a can't-miss matchup this week. Number 1 ranked Mater Dei versus number 2 ranked St. John Bosco. The top 2 quarterbacks in the class of 2020 are going head-to-head. Future Alabama quarterback Bryce Young versus future Clemson quarterback DJ Weyoung-Lele. Now I know what you're thinking, I've got to make it out to this game. Well, good luck with that, because the first 3,000 tickets that went on sale sold out in less than 24 hours. One fan was even selling their ticket on Craigslist for $200. But you don't have to pay a dime to see last week's play of the game. In Arizona, it's Ironwood versus Centennial. Centennial's number 11, Andre Dembidi, makes the one-handed, red-handed 11-yard touchdown catch.
This has been a Game Time Minute. For more high school football action, check out yourview.com.
Welcome back to Cranston Stadium. Thanks for joining us here. Stone Freeman and Kyle Rowley, the former Bishop Hendricken quarterback. And Kyle, so far Cumberland is running things offensively, a couple turnovers forced, but what can Cranston East do to get back into this one?
Yeah, so Cranston East, they're getting spread out. Cumberland is employing these 4 wide receiver sets, so it's tough. You're going to have to win the battle up front. I mean, it's not always brain surgery. It's like you got to win that battle in the trenches. it's going to be tough for them. I would try to crowd the box, try to single up your guys on the outsides and play some man-to-man coverage.
First play of the second quarter, and looks like Cranston East is trying to break through and pick up a sack, but again, that athleticism from Dante Aviles-Santos ends up with positive yardage, but it'll bring fourth down up again.
A big play there by Cranston East, though, in order to contain him. You're not going to make every tackle on Aviles-Santos, but if you can contain him, keep him inside the hashes, and you're going to end up in some fourth down situations, which anything can happen there.
They got three big fellas up front: Cody Leotar, Omar Reyes Jr., Angelo Urena. Yeah, we've already seen Javante Jones-Clark make a big tackle, part of that linebacking core. A defense for Cranston East that has been on the field a lot. That's hurt them.
It looks like Cranston East is coming out with just what I said. They look manned up on the outsides, which just allows them to crowd more linebackers into that box, and that's perfect.
Fourth down and keeping it, getting the first down and more is Aviles-Santos. That time he goes to his left-hand side, picks up a block, and gets it.
Yeah, they pick it up. So watch for it. If they stay in that man-to-man and they crowd the box, the one problem with that is if you break through, all those DBs' eyes are downfield on receivers. So you can go, you can go 50 yards for a touchdown if you break through that first thread.
So the Clippers move the chains. And this is a Cumberland team right now that is in their sixth season under the direction of Josh Lima. Graduated of Sacred Heart University, played his high school ball at LaSalle Academy. And we're actually going to step aside. Looks like we have a timeout taken, and we'll take it with them. 14-0 Cumberland over Cranston East when we come back.
Catch URI Rams football live as they take on Elon, Saturday, October 26th at 1 p.m., only on Your View, Cox Channel 4.
Come on in and discover the new Cox Solution Store. Experience a whole new level of in-home comfort. It's all right here at the Cox Solution Store. Discover, learn, and experience more.
Here at Cranston Stadium, Stone Freeman, Kyle Rowley. And we continue with our high school football coverage tonight on Friday Night Lights here in the Ocean State. And Cumberland has done their thing offensively and defensively, but Cranston East defense looking to pick up a red zone stop here. Shotgun snap, quarterback keeps it, dancing in the backfield. Leotar had a couple hands on him but couldn't get to him, and Aviles-Santos picks up a 2-yard gain.
I think the story of this game is that Cranston East is actually doing a pretty good job getting to Aviles-Santos, except he's able to scamper for at least 2, 3, or 4 every single time. They haven't caught him in the backfield. So he's effectively keeping them in good position, even though the offense isn't, the play call's not necessarily working. We call that the second play opportunity. He's creating these second plays.
So again, the Clippers will work here on second down, 2nd and 8 to go. They need the 19-yard line to pick up another first down, as they are right in the middle of Division 1A here in Rhode Island. Airing it out towards the end zone into double coverage and thrown long. So Cranston East had a good beat on number 10, Ryan Larson. 2 defensive backs, including Erode Millsette out there, and incomplete will bring up another third down.
Cumberland showing that they're not afraid to throw the ball deep, and they capitalize on one. Like I said, it's just a great way to keep those DBs on their toes, keep them out of the box a little bit, keep their noses out of the run game. So I really like that, especially when the down and distance is right. So they're 1st and 10, and they take a shot, and you've still got a manageable second down, although we got a penalty.
It's going to be a hold against Cumberland. So Cranston East accepts it. Will elect to play second down again, but it'll bring up 2nd and very long now. The ball is spotted at the 43-yard line. They need the 19-yard line, so 27 yards. Shotgun snap, fakes it, throws it over the middle, and that one's complete. A big catch for Cumberland.
Good play call by Coach Lima there. He just goes with a bang post backside, which is like a quick post, 8-yard break. It's a possession throw, sort of an intermediate, and Aviles-Santos does a great job putting it on the money and on time.
Right to Aiden Farrier. Farrier already has a touchdown today. This time a big reception, a running back that can play some wide out too. Here's a run. Pushing forward, we get some laundry on the field again, so another flag. Cody Leotard on the stop for Cranston East. That again into the hands of Dante Aviles-Santos, and it's a hold again. So Cumberland, their offense can move, so the penalties haven't proved to be costly, but they've been penalized quite a bit here in the first half.
Yeah, as this game plays out, you're starting to see that clearly Cumberland can move the ball. So their worst enemy is themselves, right? The only team out there that can stop Cumberland is Cumberland.
True.
And they're trying.
Yeah. We've seen them tonight. They got 14 points, 2 different scores, both coming in the first quarter. And this is their same drive that they started here to begin the second quarter. And it seems like they move up 10 yards, get penalized, push back a bit. It's helping Cranston East to a certain extent. This time we'll bring up 3rd and very long, 3rd and 18. And a chance again for the East defense to perhaps force a punt, depending on the down and distance. This one long, airing it out on the run, and that one is going to fall short of Ryan Larson, or long for that matter, and it brings up 4th and 18.
Yeah, so maybe the 5th time that Aviles-Santos has tested these corners, and he's throwing a safe ball. The last thing you want to do on a deep ball is throw it short, right?
True.
Then you give the defensive back a chance. What I was going to say is I thought they might go for it here because they're well past the 50, and they've showed that. But, yep, they keep their offense on the field. Or is Aviles-Santos?
I think he can punt it too.
All right.
He's an overall athlete, so he's going to stay out there to punt the football. And looks like Tyler Pigney, junior, defensive back, is back to receive the punt.
Such a good threat when you have your quarterback that can also punt, because that shows you that they can disguise some of these moving on into the rest of the game.
Pretty good boot in that. That is fair. Caught inside the 10-yard line, and looks like at the 8-yard line. So it'll take 92 yards for Cranston East to get on the scoreboard, but their defense makes a stop.
That's a great punt right there. So what the return man is taught is anything inside the 10, let it go. So if you can punt it high enough and it comes right down the 10, they sometimes don't know what to do. He doesn't exactly know where his feet are because his head is up in the air looking at the ball.
True.
So they get it right on the 9-yard line, probably the more perfect punt you can have, unless they hit the ground and you get it at the 1, which is much harder to do.
So Ben Harding will start the 3rd drive for Cranston East. So with it being senior night, makes sense why Coach Santori went with Erode Millsett to start, a senior, playing one of his last home games here inside Cranston Stadium. And one of the pillars here of Rhode Island High School football is this stadium, as the handoff to a running back and met right away. That one going to get carried by, looks like, Terrence Savanasingh. One of his first carries of the evening will bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, you'd like to see, the other thing that's great about that punt, getting them within their own 10, is they're in the shadow of their own goal line, so it's hard to drop back 5-10 yards and throw the ball because you risk a safety, you risk something going wrong. You got to run it out of here.
The way that this offense had begun for Cumberland, you had to think Cranston East was starting to get a little nervous. Gave a 14 first quarter points.
Yeah.
Came up with the stop there. And now their offense, though, going to get the ball moving for the Thunderbolts and make this a 1-score game. But this is 2nd and 14. And Harding again has some motion in the backfield, and he'll take it himself. And the Clippers have a beat on it. We get a penalty coming in, though, right in that corral players.
Like you said, while we check out what this penalty is, Cranston East has to be encouraged by getting their first stop. But then again, the field position isn't going to allow much.
It's going to be holding half the distance to the goal. And actually, Cumberland will decline it. So they'll face 3rd down. Makes sense to decline it there. Half the distance goal, I'm going to give you
They've got them where they want them already.
So we'll let them have 3rd down. And the clock continues to roll here through the first half of play. All Cumberland in the first quarter. And no offense really for either side here in the second.
Well, this is interesting right now. So you got Cranston East, who's been struggling this year, admittedly, with the pass game, right? But they're in a situation where they almost have to pass on 3rd and 12 from inside their goal line. We're going to see Harden back in his own end zone right here and see what kind of decision he can make. I'd look for Cumberland to sit at the sticks and try to be aggressive on the ball when it's in the air.
Ben Harding, really his only blemish was an interception that was not his fault, and looks like we have a timeout taken by Cranston East. And we're going to take it with them. When we come back, though, it'll be 3rd and long for the Cranston East Thunderbolts. Cumberland up 14-0 when we come back.
Prestige Auto Mart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, but the card is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car.
Contour. Pause. I love this song.
Yeah, Feel It Still.
Wait a minute. Pause. What?
The song, Feel It Still?
No, I don't feel it. You know what? Never mind. Contour, what song is this?
What do you know?
Contour's voice remote gets you right to the good stuff.
And the Thunderbolts break the huddle. We're back from a break. Stone Freeman, Kyle Rowley again joining you here on a call of high school football. 3rd and 13 now for the Thunderbolts and deep inside their own zone.
A definite passing situation, so you wonder if they're going to try to throw it downfield here or if they have some sort of screen in the game plan that they can try to get 12, 13 yards out of.
Harding is going to drop back. He's going to air it out way long into 2 different defenders, and that one going to deflect off of the Clippers. Intended receiver is Millsett, and a good ball just thrown into 2 different Cumberland Clippers.
Yeah, when you're put in 3rd and 15, oftentimes you'll see at the end of the year, quarterback will have 10, 15, 20 interceptions. But you start to realize he's on a team that can't move the ball, so he's got to throw the ball on 3rd and 15. And at times you have to try to force it in there. So he's got a 2-deep safety and a post, and he's got to throw it because that's his only option that's above the sticks. That could have been an interception. He also put it in a good spot and gave his receiver a chance there.
So the punt unit coming out for Cranston East, and clean snap and a clean kick. Pretty good one in that, out to the 39-yard line. Making a man miss is Larson. Larson trying to get the right angle, and he does. He gets to the 30, and a pretty good return will set up excellent field position for the Clippers with 5:40 left to go here in the first half of play.
This is the days of running out of bounds, right? It's like saving your body.
True.
I'm thinking of like Walter Payton. He never stepped out. But at the same time, you see an athlete that it never ends up on the ground. You think, oh, that guy knows how to make guys miss, knows when he's got enough, and knows when to scoot out of bounds. So, both styles. I like the guy that doesn't run out. But when you win a game like this and you know you got the next game to play, sometimes you got to pat him on the back for it.
So Josh Lima giving his offense direction, and an offense with a couple wide receivers that are pretty good. Dante Aviles-Santos, the quarterback, is one of the more athletic quarterbacks in the state of Rhode Island right now. Public, private, school, doesn't matter. They got one of the best. Cumberland just transitioning to Division I about 6 years ago when Lima took over. And they've done a pretty good job. Very consistent program, as are usually the Thunderbolts. This year, just one of the exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, and Lima's proud of that. I think, he told me a story that when he was taking the job, they were thinking about moving up to the Division I, and that was important to him. Being a LaSalle guy and competing at the highest level, he's a coach that takes it very seriously, and he takes a lot of pride in the fact that they've been in the hunt since he's been here. They haven't been able to get over the top, but that's where we're here watching right now, seeing if Cumberland can become a championship caliber team.
Another penalty against the Clippers, a 5-yard penalty that they'll get back here on another run from one of their multiple running backs, this time Isaiah Cole, the senior, gets the handoff, and it was a false start against the Clippers, but they get the yardage back.
If you zoom out from, just beyond this game to Cumberland as a whole, they do show the capacity to put the ball in the air, to run it on the ground, to run these multiple option sets where the quarterback can keep it. But if they keep penalizing themselves, that's not going to end up in a championship this year. So they really have to focus there.
And this time goes to Cole again, and Cranston East with a big wall up front to knock him in the backfield. And looks like a couple of those big guys we've been talking about all game, but Josh Delgado, the linebacker, came in and made the striking play to force third down now.
So now, without the penalty, we've got a 3rd and 7, but with the penalty, they're stuck in a 3rd and 12. So these are the differences between championship ball and make it into the tournament.
And Josh Lima last week, when his team had a blowout victory over South Kingstown High School 49-8, he said they didn't make many mental errors. They didn't make many errors to begin with. One of the best complete football games, and he said he told his team at the end, when we don't make errors, this is what can happen. They have the capability to blow teams out.
Well, what's interesting is both these teams coming off completely different weeks with, Cumberland having a huge win over SK, blowing them out, but with East getting blown out by Hendricken. So two completely different emotional states from these teams, and that's what's interesting about this game. See if Cranston East can, punch one of the powerhouses in the mouth and see if the powerhouse can do what they're supposed to against a Cranston East team that's struggling this season.
So Cumberland takes a timeout. We're going to keep it right here inside Cranston Stadium. And again, thanks for joining us here on a Friday night. Stone Freeman and 3-time state champion Kyle Rowley. Kyle, I assumed you played games here at Cranston East, or at least in the stadium.
Yeah,
right?
Championship games here.
That's
so
right.
I think we played all 3 here. I definitely ran the last one. Me and my brother playing together. So Travis, my younger brother by 1 year, took over for me at quarterback when I was injured my junior year.
Sure.
Won a championship on this field with a stacked backfield. I come back, take over the quarterback. He moves to running back, and we're able to win another one together and with a little bit different formula.
Sure. In Cranston Stadium, again, I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, but one of those things that everybody kind of just knows where it is. I think a couple of years back when the LA Chargers came to town to face the New England Patriots, they practiced here. People know about Cranston Stadium. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost I saw it on Mayor Alan Fung's Twitter somewhere, so he's very active.
It's got to be
on
true.
Twitter. Yeah, it's got to be true at that point. But back to action after the timeout. And some movement again.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go against the Clippers.
Clippers in a good spot, but they could be in a better spot right now. This could be 28-0 easily. They just keep shooting themselves in the foot. It seems like an ongoing thing right now.
And that penalty is going to make it 3rd and 17 now. Their second false start penalty on this drive.
Sometimes because you're in the gun and you're looking over to the sideline, these linemen have to stay in the stance for so long.
They're going to air it out again. Same spot. This one is reeled in by Larson. What a throw and what a catch. Great connection for the Cumberland Clippers on 3rd and long, and that'll place them deep inside the red zone, inside the 5-yard line.
Right on the money. He throws a great deep ball, Aviles-Santos. It's got air under it. We call that a level 3 ball. So it's got as much air as you can have. Gives the receiver an opportunity to come down to it. Some of these receivers have a 5th and 6th gear. It allows them to kind of put it in gear and run under that ball, do what they do best, which is run.
And that again, Ryan Larson with the reception and a very impressive ball. Clean pocket too, great protection up front, and just gets a chance to air it out. Larson kept 2 feet in too. Great play. And this was bobbled, and Cranston East might have fallen on top of it, and I think they did. A big turnover for the Cranston East defense. They've looked so good here in the second quarter. It's Andrew Amwako comes up with the fumble recovery. And after the big play for Cumberland, Cranston East's defense matches it.
Yeah, another miscommunication by Cumberland. So sometimes what you see, right, if you're going into a game, let's look at this play. Another shotgun error. What I was going to say is sometimes when you're coming into a game and you know that you kind of overmatch the other team, you don't come in with, playing your A game.
Sure.
You're kind of taking the game for granted. You put the win in the win column already, and this is kind of what happens. This is how the game goes. And they're going to have a wake-up call at halftime because I'm sure it's not going to be quiet locker room with these coaches.
That's right.
Seeing what they're seeing out here.
Cranston East comes up with a big turnover. They trail in that department 2-1. 2 interceptions for Cumberland thus far, and that run is right up the heart and maybe for a yard or 2. But I'm sure Cranston East just happy with getting another stop as the clock continues to roll here. And
this is setting up well for Cranston East with 3 minutes left, just enough time for their their run-heavy offense to drive down the field, get in the end zone with hopefully no time left, and go in 7-14, which you and I both know that shouldn't be the score based on the talent level.
So to bring up 2nd and 8, and under center goes the quarterback at Ben Harding with 2 men in the backfield. And he hands it off to the first of the two, and getting pushed back by a sea of Clippers is the running back, number 21 for Cranston High School East, and that is Amari Lanzat. He gets pushed back.
Yeah, you put Cranston East in another tough third down, although a little bit more manageable than the last 3rd and 13. We've got a 3rd and about 7 here. Now they have the ability to throw that deep ball or the intermediate ball, which makes all the difference. They've got when you can only throw a 13-yard route, there's only so many routes. There's the post, the corner, and the go. But now he's got post, corner, go, dig route, out route. These will all work and all be able to pick.
Opens up.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the offensive play caller is Isaiah McDaniel. He played for Cranston East on the 03 team that won a state championship. Getting to the outside edge, a first down and more. We get a flag thrown in the backfield, but for the time being, Cranston East with a big gainer off the near sideline. Huge play for the running back, number 7, Andrew Amwako, the senior, and this might come back.
Well, we see Amwako's speed right there. He's a guy that can go all the way, just tackled by his shoelaces, but it looks like the story of the game is going to be penalties.
And that's coming back. We'll take another look at it here coming up, but Amwako, the big gainer, comes back.
He gets it there, just bounces to the outside, and then it's just a race from there.
The hold
I'd like to see a stiff arm here, but a great run by Amwako.
The hold will negate it, but Amwako's speed on full display. Ton of athleticism on the Cranston East side of the ball. That's the key example for it.
Yeah, you know, all Cumberland has to do here, right? They're winning the battle, I think, up front. It's stopping any big 80-yard runs from happening, any passes way over the top, because that's really, I think, going to be the only way that Harding and Cranston East can stay in the game. So that's one of the things they want to avoid. They get bailed out right there with a holding penalty.
Cranston East sideline was not happy with the call. And I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive they did get a flag and a warning on the sideline.
Clock's still running, so you want to see them hurry up here.
3rd and 17, the handoff goes to Amwako again. Tries to fight through a couple tacklers, but he'll spill over the original line of scrimmage.
Man, so you see, what a difference without the penalty. They go from, at the 30, knocking on the door, to now they're backed up, punting out of their own, out of the shadow of their own end zone here.
And smart play from Josh Lima to use his last time out to at least force Cranston East to not only punt it, but it'll give Cumberland a chance at perhaps a play or two, especially when they can throw the ball and stop the clock. But Josh Lima playing at LaSalle, we talked about him. He did spend 1 year, though, under Coach Centauri, and it was after his first year of coaching at Portsmouth High School under Tim Cohen. He then went on to coach for 1 year, and largely thanks to the offensive play caller from Cranston East, Isaiah McDaniel. McDaniel and Lima playing T-ball together, and he got another shot at coaching before heading to LaSalle Academy and then obviously becoming the head coach here. But he is very fond of the coaching staff here at Cranston East, as most is the state of Rhode Island.
Coach Centauri's been around so long that I'm sure he has some contact with every coach that's in these leagues at this point. So, they call it those coaching family trees.
Yeah,
if you look at it, how many points of contacts you have. Coach Centauri probably with every single coach that's coaching in Rhode Island right now, with 31 years under his belt.
And Coach Centauri's father, Tony Centauri, who just passed away last year, coached for 62 years here in the state of Rhode Island, so a family name for sure. The punt coming up for Cranston East, though, is end over end and will take a Cranston East bounce all the way to the 43-yard line as a sea of Thunderbolts take a look at it. And the clock gets stopped at 52.3, so Cumberland will have to go just over 50 yards in just over 50 seconds.
50 and 50. We'll see what they can do here. It's interesting because they're punting out of their own end zone. I would have liked to see Cumberland, bring everything and try to get a punt block right there because nothing's set in stone. They're not necessarily going to score 7 here. So it's interesting because they kind of didn't bring the house, but maybe they're setting up their return.
So the line of scrimmage, I think, is going to get spotted at the 42-yard line. So 58 yards exact to go in 52.3 seconds. No timeouts for the Clippers. They've used them all. Cranston East does have 3 at their disposal, if need be. But Dante Aviles-Santos and the Clipper offense come back out on the field. And they turn the ball over on their last drive. A big scoop by number 7, Andrew Amwako, as this running play is blown up at the line of scrimmage. Again, great defensive effort from Cranston East, and that's number 19, Angelo Urina.
Yeah, it's interesting to see them put it on the ground right now. You hope they're not going to be happy with running this out, the clock out into halftime.
And looking over for the play call from Lima is the quarterback, Aviles-Santos, and the clock now inside 30, and he's going to air this one out. He's got pressure. He's hit while he throws, and it's intercepted. No! In and out of the hands of Amwako again. He's got the fumble recovery, and that time couldn't hang on to the interception. We saw his speed when he was in the backfield.
That could have been a game changer right there, and I think that's one of those cases where he's running before he had the ball. That was an easy interception. And maybe one of the reasons, maybe Coach Lima's smarter than me, I want him to be aggressive. And you see what aggression does right here. Gives Cranston East a chance to get back in the game. If that's picked off, he's got a load of blockers in front of him, almost his whole defense.
And Cranston East had pressure from Jalen Bernardo, senior on his senior day. And this is actually going to be a penalty against Cranston East. Comes all the way up to the East 42-yard line. Looks like it was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Thunderbolts. And they'll get some help, but some movement again in the trenches.
So this is where you see, Aviles-Santos' arm strength is going to come into play. It's a lot different story being on the opposite 40 than being on the plus 40. So he's going to have a chance, at least after this next 2 plays, to throw it into the end zone once or twice. And he's shown that he's not shy about doing it.
Yeah. Seen it a couple times. He takes the high snap. He's going to run, and he gets taken down the backfield. No, eludes the initial wave of tacklers, and this time avoids the second before he's met by a couple Thunderbolts there inside the middle of the field.
Clock's still running, and they stopped it.
Clock stops at 6.4, but another flag on the play.
So we'll see what this flag is. But the problem there is, although he's shown a ton of athleticism, with 19 seconds, you got to think you have 3, maybe even 4 plays, to try to put 7 up or at least get in field goal position. But that type of run, changing direction 3 times, I think he runs off about 12, 13 seconds, and now they're left with possibly only 1 play and no field goal opportunity.
And the clock's going to roll because Coach Centauri, rightfully so, declined the penalty. And the clock rolls, and that'll bring us to the end of the first half. It was all Clippers in the first quarter, but Cranston East comes up with a stop in the red zone late in the second, and it's only a 2-score game. The Clippers of Cumberland 14, the Thunderbolts of Cranston East 0 at the half. We're coming back with interviews, halftimes, and highlights when we come back.
Game Time high school football action on Your View is sponsored by Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car. Football fans, join us each and every Friday for some of the top high school teams from around the country on Your View. Live stream games, in-depth behind-the-scenes coverage, podcasts, and more. Check it out at yourview.com.
You name a sport and there's avid fans watching. Nothing beats the passion and excitement of sports, and your business can be part of it all. Cox Media has the networks sports fans are watching, no matter which season we're in. Nearly 90% of sports on cable are viewed live. Cox Media can get your business in the game. Connect with local sports fans wherever they're watching their favorite teams. Your marketing game plan starts here. Reach any sports fan anywhere on any screen with Cox Media. Call 855-755-2691.
Nifty Car Rental's been here in New Orleans approximately 15 years. We called Cox in reference to a change, and they sent out professionals who assessed my building from telephone service to security. Nifty Car Rental's building was graffitied, and Cox's cameras caught the perpetrators within 3 days. I'm highly confident in the Cox security systems.
The right connection can open a world of curiosity for your child. With Cox, families that have a K-12 student and receive government assistance could qualify for low-cost home internet with Wi-Fi. That means more learning and more achieving. Qualify now. It's time to connect with Cox.
Game Time League standings are brought to you by Ortho, Rhode Island. To make an appointment, visit orthopedic.com or call 401-777-7000. Ortho Rhode Island, caring for every move.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Cranston Stadium here in Cranston, Rhode Island. We're joined by Sean Kelly, the principal of Cranston East High School. Sean, thank you for joining us, and an exciting time for your team to play on TV tonight.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure to be here. We really appreciate Cox coming out and supporting our students and giving them the opportunity to showcase their talents.
Now this year, a tough start for Coach Santori and the Thunderbolts, but you've really built here a consistent public school program here in the state of Rhode Island. What can you say about Coach Santori?
Coach Santori is fantastic. Being one of our school guidance counselors, it naturally makes the transition over to being a coach with our students and teaching our young athletes. And like you said, it's been a trying year, but we've had a lot of success in the past, and we've got a young team, and like anything else educationally, it's really about learning and moving forward and getting better.
Now, talking to Coach Santori this week, it's pretty clear he's come back now for 17 seasons because it's just what he likes to do, the kids and being around that environment. What keeps you going? What keeps you coming back to school every day?
Just being around the kids. It's a great school, not because I work there, but we're the best high school in the state of Rhode Island. We have a fantastic faculty with a fantastic student body and a lot of community support, so every day coming to school it's a real pleasure.
Somebody that maybe isn't too familiar with Cranston East High School, what should they know about your high school?
We're the largest high school in the state, so we have right around 1,700 students, and it's just a fantastic place to come to school. We have a very diverse student body in a lot of different categories, and everybody gets along, and I really can't say enough good things about the school.
Well, this is Sean Kelly, the principal of Cranston East High School here in Warwick, Rhode Island, and his Thunderbolts will continue into the second half against the Cumberland Clippers when we come back here on Your View. Thanks again for joining us today, Sean.
Thank you.
Welcome to our Westport location. This location is our main location that we started at about 15 years ago, and we've expanded quite a few times since then.
We've been here since 2004. That was our first location. That's what everything started, was in Westport.
We sell pretty much any make or model that Manny can find and buy. It's a good deal for the customers. We check them out through the shop, and if they're good to go, then we put them up for sale. Sales crew is a great bunch of guys. They all work together. Most of them have been here for many years, local from Florida area. Some of them are related, some of them aren't. It's a bunch of good guys. Customer service center is over there to handle the incoming calls, any customer issues that pop up or arise, they'll be there to handle it from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
I think we have 14 lifts, 10 or 12 mechanics. We have pretty much all ASC certified technicians, a lot of them with a lot of experience.
The service crew we've worked closely with, a lot of them have been here for the duration. They're a bunch of good guys. You know, not only does Manny have a nice environment, everyone gets along together, but you know, we all look out for each other, and they do a good job.
I try not to have mechanics without experience, because if you just throw parts at cars, it ends up costing you more money than if you have somebody that can fix them right the first time. It's a lot more important to us. We take care of our customers, we pride ourselves in that.
You know, you're gonna get a car that's well maintained. We do the research on them, and not only that, but we stand by them.
You're watching Game Time on Your View. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Ocean State. Again, it's high school football here in Rhode Island. Cranston East taking on Cumberland, second half about to begin. But before we get to that, we're talking to the head coach of the Cranston East Thunderbolts. It's Tom Santori. Tom, how are you tonight?
Good, Stone. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for taking some time to speak to us today. And a year right now, you guys are still searching for your first win, but the effort's there from your program, guys coming back every day. What can you say about this team this season?
They're just resilient. I mean, I know it hasn't been what they wanted or expected, but they continue to work and do everything we're supposed to do to get ready for a football game, and that's the one thing that I'm pleased about. So improvements every day. I mean, they may not show now, but they will eventually.
Now, this year, again, a little bit difficult, but the community seems to be behind you. A good crowd tonight, and again on TV. What is the energy like with this team, too?
Yeah, no, the kids, like I said, I think they're excited about homecoming. They get an opportunity to play in front of a little bigger crowd, opportunity to play on, television, I think was big for them. And, again, like experience and excitement for the week. And they had a really good week of practice. I just hope it translates tonight, in the second half. We'll see.
Now, year number 17 at the helm here at Cranston East, but you've been a coach for 31 years now, probably more. What keeps you coming back?
I just love football. I mean, I love being around the kids. I think seeing them progress and get better is a big part of it. And I enjoy coaching. I was fortunate to grow up around a coaching family with my dad, and I don't probably know anything different,
Now, it seems like Coach Lima on the other sideline for Cumberland, kind of built the same way you are, has been surrounded by football, younger though, only in his 6th season. What can you say about the program that you're facing tonight?
He's done a great job with them. I mean, he's so enthusiastic about it. He's built the program where he wants it to be, and that's what you do. That's what and I think when you have a program that's yours and you feel it, you own it, you do everything you can to make it better. And he's done a great job with them. Very impressed with what he does with the kids.
All right, folks, that's the head coach of Cranston East, Tom Santori, and his Thunderbolts, again, continue into the second half against Cumberland when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Cranston East offers some great programs. We've started a plumbing program this year. We have our award-winning ROTC program, and also this year we've started our criminal justice program. The students get a lot of real-life experience from our programs.
In the plumbing class, we're trying to get the kids prepared to be brought into the workplace. These kids can leave our school, start a job, start making $30,000, $40,000 a year right from the get-go.
Leadership is a universal career skill. In every career field, there has to be a group of people that step up to the plate and assume the mantle of leadership. We teach discipline, respect, responsibility, self-awareness, skills to be successful.
I plan on serving my community and serving by teaching. That's my goal, and I feel like JROTC has helped me accomplish that.
Cranston East is a very special place. The best kept secret in Cranston, really is. We are a unified champion banner school.
We were the only school in Rhode Island to make the ESPN honor roll.
We received this award this year, but we do this stuff on a daily basis.
Our life skills kids are included in a bunch of different work experience classes. They go into the cafe, they cook up different recipes, and they get to serve them to the staff and faculty here at Cranston East. We're now taking care of all the copy orders for the entire school. We get bicycles from community members as well as the police department, and our students work on repairing those bikes to give them to students in need. For Best Buddies, we match a typical pair and what we call a buddy, and we bring them into our life skills classrooms to work one-on-one with the kids.
I've grown so much with my buddy, Emily. I can't even imagine my life without her now. Having a friendship like that is unforgettable.
Cranston East is a very special place. The best kept secret in Cranston, really is.
Halftime in Rhode Island. Cumberland up 14-0 over Cranston East here. Back on your view, Stone Freeman and Kyle Rowley getting ready for the second half. But before that, we're going to take you through really what happened in the first half. And Kyle, we talked about it off air, but really this could be a 28-0 lead for Cumberland right now.
Yeah, Cranston East lucky to be in this game. Cumberland fighting a rash of offensive penalties, which has put them in second and long, third and long all day long here.
So let's take a look at some of the highlights. This is the first score from Dante Aviles-Santos, brings it 37 yards to the house.
Showing his speed right there. That's just their read option, keeping it because the end came down too hard, doing a great job.
They actually got a 2-point conversion try, probably not the way they wanted it, an unorthodox 2-point conversion, but Larson shows his speed and gets 2 points.
And they've got Larson back there because he's a threat, because he can do a little throwing. He'll actually step in at quarterbacks at times for Cumberland, so it's a good guy to have there in case of something.
And this is just two of the best in the state. The quarterback, Aviles-Santos, finds Shane Meerbott over the top for the second score of the game. That brought us to what we have now, 14-0. And then there was this, an offensive drive going for the Cranston East Thunderbolts and in and out of the hands of Andrew Amwako and intercepted by Aiden Farrier. And that's really been the story for Cranston East. They've gotten some offensive drives going, but haven't been able to get to the end.
Yeah, those are the ones, that last one there's the ones you shake your head at. Just everything looked good about it, but a rare Amwako miss, and what do you know? It falls right in the hands of Cumberland.
Well, Cumberland's up 14-0 again. That's just about it for the halftime. We're coming back though just after this with the second half and more.
You name a sport and there's avid fans watching. Nothing beats the passion and excitement of sports, and your business can be part of it all. Cox Media has the networks sports fans are watching, no matter which season we're in. Nearly 90% of sports on cable are viewed live. Cox Media can get your business in the game. Connect with local sports fans wherever they're watching their favorite teams. Your marketing game plan starts here. Reach any sports fan anywhere on any screen with Cox Media. Call 855-755-2691.
The right connection can open a world of curiosity for your child. With Cox, families that have a K-12 student and receive government assistance could qualify for low-cost home internet with Wi-Fi. That means more learning and more achieving. Qualify now. It's time to connect with Cox.
So one key component that makes the Waste Management Phoenix Open so successful is Cox Business. Over 700,000 people are going to come enjoy TPC Scottsdale, from digital TV to digital phones to security, and most importantly, that free Wi-Fi all over this property. We simply couldn't do it without a partner like Cox Business. We're grateful, we're thankful, it's a hole-in-one.
Get in the spooky spirit all month long with Cox On Demand.
Welcome to Hotel Transylvania. All of our monster friends are right here.
Nobody make a sound.
Oh. Run!
You have a vampire infestation.
We are in great danger.
Now that we're family, I can be the ultimate dad. Movies on demand from Cox. Just go to Channel 1 and choose Halloween.
You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
We're back for the second half and more here from Cranston Stadium. Stone Freeman and former Hendricken quarterback Kyle Rowley as we dive into some halftime stats right here. And Kyle, it's really just been a tale of yardage, right? 16 total yards so far for Cranston East, and Cumberland able to go at it through the air and on the ground, and that's really resulted in the 14-0 score.
Yeah, none of these tremendous offensive stats, but you can see that Cranston East still looking for an identity on offense. They do have some weapons, but not able to put anything together. We had a couple mishaps, but on the other side, Cumberland clearly able to move the ball, but still fighting themselves. A couple mishaps on the shotgun formation between the center and the quarterback, and then obviously the penalties for Cumberland are hurting them.
So both the teams still stretching out, getting ready for the second half, as are we. But right now, again, Cranston East, they got a turnover in the red zone, and they've come up with a couple defensive stops in the second quarter. That first quarter might come back to haunt them a bit, right? They gave up a touchdown by land, a touchdown by sea, a touchdown everywhere, it seemed. There was so much movement from Shane Meerbott and Dante Aviles-Santos and the running backs. But is there any answer? Can they slow down this powerful Cumberland offense?
I don't know if they can slow them down. I think they have to put together some type of offense.
Sure.
And you saw a little bit of Amwako, being able to get to the edge and break away on a large run. But even then, Cranston East then penalized. It's like these penalties are coming at the wrong times. Some games you'll have more penalties than you think, but they'll just come at times where you can negate them. It seems like this game, they're all coming on big plays.
And right now, Cumberland and Cranston East 14-0 for the visiting team, but Cranston East celebrating homecoming senior day, so there's a couple seniors from Cranston East that have made big plays tonight. We've seen that front front three really, Cody Leotar and Omar Reyes Jr., two of the bigger guys up front. But it's been Andrew Amwako that has had a pretty good game, right? He's got the fumble recovery. He had that big gainer that was called back on the near sideline because of a holding penalty.
Well,
but
and he almost had the interception, which
right.
you know, he's kicking himself still. I'm sure that one's tough to come back from because that could have been a game changer for him. He hit the sideline on the run and had that one, both of which he gets no credit for.
Yeah. And Coach Santori talking about it all week. Really, the tough part is, I mean, we see the numbers, right? 0-7, they haven't won a game, but he says his team sees it too, right? That's the worst part is these guys haven't got a victory yet, most of them in their senior season, or a bulk of them in their senior season, and that's tough when your identity just 2 years ago, you won a Division I title over Portsmouth.
Yeah, so, you know, losing is tough. You have to understand in football also, you only play one game every week, so you have to sit on that loss for 6 days.
That's right.
thinking about it, practicing. And practices are hard. It's cold out there. It's a physical sport. So what we're looking at here is not only Cranston East trying to stay in this game and get a win, but also keep their season together, keep morale up, show that they have something to live for. And what you'll see if you look closely, they've got their seniors out there on senior night and on homecoming, but they've also got some young kids and trying to build for, you know, the future of this program. So that's some, you know, look out for some of these freshmen, sophomores in the defensive backfield and trying to bring those guys along.
East has won each of the last 3 meetings against Cumberland. Last year they won 29-26 at the Clippers' home field, and it was a offensive miscue from Cumberland. A fumble within the last minute was recovered by Cranston East, and then it was scored by Cranston East with 22 seconds left. And the last win for Cumberland in this matchup is way back in 2015, a 30-13 win at Cumberland. But each of the last 3 meetings have gone to Cranston East, and Coach Lima knew that coming in. He said he addressed his team on that. Well, why? Because it seems like Cranston East just comes to play every game, and Cumberland has been on the negative side of a couple of those showings.
Yeah, you know, it's a blue-collar lunch pail system here, and an atmosphere and a culture that Coach Santori's always created with his team. So you're not going to see a Cranston East team pack it in. They've got too much pride for that.
Right.
So I think it's interesting that they're in this game. They're only down by 14. If they could put a drive together right here and put 7 on the board and find ways to stop, I think it's, you know, it's not like they stopped Cumberland themselves every time. They found a way to put them in 3rd and 15 with Cumberland getting penalized, and then the fumble, the botched shotgun snap. But still, they're in this game, so if they can get creative, they got a chance to win.
And there is one game on the schedule, though, that has been bothering Cranston East. Obviously, they've been on the receiving end of some tough losses their last 2 games, 39-0 to East Providence, 43-7 last week to Hendricken. But they lost 7-3 at home here right at Cranston Stadium against St. Ray's, and they had a touchdown taken back on a holding penalty in the final quarter. So there is 1 or 2 games on this slate that they played pretty well in. They played against a great team in Shea that we saw last week on Your View and only lost by 2 scores. So they've been playing some pretty good football, but they're still looking for the win. The kickoff now is controlled by Cumberland and brought out to the 35, and that's where the Clippers will begin their first drive of the second half.
Yeah, you know, football is obviously a team sport, and confidence comes into play. You'll if you're inside I've been inside of 30 years plus of football locker rooms, and you have to have team morale up. There's a lot of things that can kill it, and losing is number 1, but there's also chemistry. Chemistry can keep a team that's losing, keep their morale up. If they can fight past that, have some strong leadership, some strong coaching, they can find their way to turn their seasons around.
We've seen the front 7 for Cranston East break through a couple times, but they can't get the sack. This time, though, a big gainer for Cumberland up past the 50, and this one is Ryan Larson, who'll come around on a sweep, and he gets into Cranston East territory, a gain of 15+ on the first play from scrimmage in the second half.
Seems like Cumberland, every time they run one of those speed sweeps or sweeps to the outside, they're having success with that. So look to see them kind of go more to that in the second half here.
So now the second play coming here for their first drive of the second quarter. They did score on their first drive last half after coming up with a stop after giving up just 1 Cranston East first down on the first drive of this ball game. Again, Larson goes in motion, this time the opposite way, and the quarterback's going to keep it. Makes a man miss, a second man miss, and looks like he came up on his ankle. And he's good, but the official blew the play dead. And I thought maybe he had tweaked something just by the way, but he was stopping because of the official's whistle. Second down.
Santos showing great athleticism again. Right here, almost able to keep his knee off the ground. And he blows the whistle on that left knee, just barely.
That's right. He gets the first down this time. Gets into and that's Larson again. So they're using Larson, that's one of their wide receiver threats, as a backfield option. A couple end arounds, that time up the middle, and it's another first down for the Clippers.
Yeah, kind of showing here the Clippers how versatile they are. Coach Lima takes pride in that, giving it to different guys, keeping the defense off balance, and he's been a big part of that.
10 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Cumberland looking to make it a 3-score game. Larson in motion again. This time it's going to go to the running back, and he's got some room before he's upended by Cranston East. But a good play from the running back. He's met by Cranston East number 84, and that is Jaden Newman. His freshman season comes up with the tackle, and a good one for the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Cumberland showing a concerted effort here to mix it up. Larson, Aviles-Santos, Cole, and they'll go round and round. So it seems like that's what Coach Lima's trying to do. So look for Aviles-Santos now, and then Cole next play.
A lot of motion from Larson, but this time the handoff goes to Cole again, and Cole is taken down from behind. A big hit from Cody Leotar. Again, that senior defensive lineman, 6'2", 290 pounds. And he needed all of it to take down Cole, who was running with steam. That'll bring up third down.
It's almost like that's their batting order, right? So they're just going to go through the rounds, keep everyone fresh, keep the defense off balance here, and it's working. They're putting together a slow drive with a manageable third down here.
Inside 9 minutes, so the opening drive is 3+ minutes as Larson gets it on the end around again. A first down and still on his feet before he's finally taken down, and that time again by the freshman Jaden Newman.
This is the effectiveness of these spread sets with these speed sweeps, with these read options, is the defense has to cover all 54 yards of this field, and it creates running lanes, whether it's outside or whether it's inside. And that's what I think you're seeing here is just some gaping holes because the defense is off balance. They don't know where it's coming from.
A good opening drive to start off and set the pace for the third quarter, and again Larson in motion. This time the handoff again goes to Cole and met in the backfield. A smart and good play from Cranston East, and that's number 6, Joshua Delgado.
So the first play where we don't have a significant gain right there, but if you look closely, what you see is a really high snap. Aviles-Santos has to hand that off because he doesn't even have time to read the end, and you've got a second and long, which is where Cranston East wants to be.
So this drive now 4+ minutes as the handoff goes to Larson on the end around. Larson trying to get to the first down marker. He'll be 3 yards short of it. And again, an active secondary led by a freshman in Jaden Newman with his third tackle of the drive. And this will force another third down, second third down of this first drive of the second half.
So a much cleaner play there. You see a good shotgun snap with the motion. He hands it clean. He's able to read that backside end, and you get the result is 6 yards. But Cranston East where they want to be with the third down, chance to get a stop and hopefully force them to a field goal.
So we haven't seen him throw it yet. This time the quarterback's going to keep it. He gets the first down and an extra yard or two. And using all 6'1" of his body frame, Dante Aviles-Santos dives forward. And 7 minutes left to go here in the third quarter, so a 5-minute drive.
And this is, kind of what Coach Lima was talking about. I said, what are you going to do? Who are you going to use? Who are you going to be heavy on? He said, nobody. We're going to do a lot of different things. I'm not going to point out anything. I thought he didn't trust me at first, but little do I know he's actually going to do everything in the playbook.
Sure showing. Now we have a whistle. And might be a timeout taken. And it's going to be an offsides against Cranston East. So a free 5 yards, first penalty of the second half. The clock will continue to roll again, but talking to Coach Lima earlier this week, the word he kept using was multiple. His offense has multiple levels he can do so much with. This time Cole gets the handoff, dives inside the 5-yard line, will be shy of a first down, which is at the 3.
Such a big play right there by Cranston East interior, right? So you've got first and 5, right? So you have to stop them for 1 or 2 yards there in order to push them back in the count. Cumberland going with a hurry-up offense here, trying to keep them off balance, and they'll change the play.
Second down and 3 to go.
What's great about these no huddles is that you can call 2 plays. You call the play, you don't like it, you look to the sideline and get another play off.
Shotgun snap, handoff again, goes to Cole. No, he fakes it, took it himself. There's a whistle, and I think he might have faked out the referee.
Yep. Aviles-Santos doing too good a job with his ride fakes, fooling us up in the booth and the ref, and I think they got an inadvertent whistle.
And Aviles-Santos was into the end zone for a second rushing score of the day, and instead it comes back.
So what you see is, right, he does a great job riding all the way in. He's even leaning onto his left foot, riding that running back all the way 3 yards close to the line of scrimmage, and then pulls it out late. And when you do that, you'll have a tendency. I've run free on multiple plays at Hendricken where no one knew I had the ball, and it's actually an awkward feeling running by guys that
nobody knows you have it.
You don't know you have the ball.
The handoff again goes to Cole. Cole is going to be a yard short of the end zone when a flag comes in. But
he'll have enough for the first down there, it looks like, though. So we'll see what the flag is.
Bring a 1st and goal from about the 1 for the time being. Clock stopped at 5:24. Officials waiting, and looks like it's going to come back. It's going to be against the Clippers. Just
big break, another big break. So they keep doing it to themselves. Holding.
Hold.
This is just the biggest break in the world for Cranston East right here. They're backed up against their old goal line now. They've got 15 yards of room, and Cumberland behind the count.
So I keep referencing the clock just because this is the opening drive here of the second half, and we're at 5 minutes. The throw, and that one is going to be incomplete. Intended receiver is number 13, Jaden Pimentel, sophomore wide out, and it's incomplete, so the clock does stop at 4:55 on 3rd and 15.
And while a long, impressive drive by Cumberland, this is actually the type of game that Cranston East would like to play. Let's slow this thing down, keep it within 2 scores, and try to make some big plays in the second half. So we'll see.
Cumberland's not afraid to go for the long ball on 3rd and long. We saw it in the first half, a big connection to Ryan Larson on 3rd and 17 that set him up inside the 5 before a fumble. But 3rd and 15, the end zone just 17 yards away. As Aviles-Santos finally gets the shotgun snap. He's got pressure, looking to set up a screen, and it's incomplete. So again, there's that front 4, front 7 between the defensive line and linebackers that have really controlled the line of scrimmage against Cumberland today.
Yeah, if you're going to run, when you're going to run a screen like that, you can expect to get hit, especially if you're going to hold the ball. It didn't look like the running back was very open. He should have probably thrown it in the ground. He put the ball in jeopardy right there. But, yeah, good hit on the quarterback. If you can get it, take it.
And that was a shot there of Coach Lima. He's again making the offensive play calls, the head coach for Cumberland. And season number 6. 4th down, Cumberland going to keep their offense out there on their first drive of the second half, looking to make it a 3-score game. Cranston East's defense, led by Jay Hogan, the defensive coordinator, looking for the stop, and they will. A big sack in the backfield. They finally break through to the Thunderbolts, and it's a sack that will be a turnover on downs.
So, like you said, the interior of Cranston East showing some life. They go into halftime. Don't underestimate what a breath at halftime and a break can do for those interior guys. Those are the bigger guys that don't have as much wind, and they come out and show some life. We'll see if they can sustain that over the course of the second half, because if they can, they've got a real chance here.
It looked like Josh Lima was talking to the official. He might have not been happy with maybe a call or perhaps, but that was the shot you had seen. But Cranston East will take over, and again, took away a lot of clock. Only 4:37 left to go, and you're touching the ball for the first, or left to go in the third, and you're touching the ball for the first time in the half. But Kyle, you alluded to it. I think Cranston East probably happy, obviously, with the outcome.
Well, let me play devil's advocate to myself. You want to play a slow game, but once you start getting behind and once you start getting the second half, you can only slow the game down so much. They need time to score on offense as well.
And we have a flag down, and looked like maybe an illegal shift or an offside against the offense. It'll back them up a couple yards. Or it might be it's like an equipment issue perhaps. We're waiting to see if the official does say anything. It is a timeout. So we're going to take a break here. 14-0 Cumberland up when we come back.
Prestige Auto Mart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, or the car is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 31,000 participants here in Rhode Island who take part in high school sports.
Their offense will head back out for their first drive after a big defensive stop from their front four, getting the sack on Cumberland on 3rd down in the red zone. Stone Freeman, Kyle Rowley, welcoming you back to Cranston Stadium, and Cranston East needs an offensive drive here with points.
Yeah, Stone, so you alluded to it before, the fastest quarter in the history of high school football right there, with a 4:37 left in the 3rd quarter. So while Cranston East is doing a good job staying within 2 possessions, they really need to show life right here on offense.
So back out there is Ben Harding, the junior quarterback. He's going to throw it. They're looking to set up a screen, and that one nearly intercepted. And a couple clippers jarring for the interception. Dylan Powers, one of them, number 55, a sophomore defensive lineman, and he couldn't come up with it.
So you see both quarterbacks, both young quarterbacks, not a ton of experience under their belts, but both guys that can get the job done. They both run middle screens with the running back somewhat blocked by a defensive end or a nose guard, and they try to make the play. So they'll learn as they go. That's a ball you just want to skip off the ground, near everyone's feet, live to play another down, and both of them could have paid for either one of those mistakes.
Ben Harding didn't have much experience at the quarterback position coming into this year as he hands it off, but Kyle, you talked about it in our open way at the top of this broadcast, but he's got a background in hockey.
Yeah.
Didn't do much quarterback play. If anything, it was at the JV level last year, so he's in a tough spot off the bat, and he has to come in with, you hate to use the word rebuilding in high school, but with a program that has seen a lot of talent graduate over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I'm watching him throw on the sideline, though, and this is what I do for a living is just train quarterbacks. So I said to Coach Santori, man, he can throw the ball. He said, no, he has the mechanics. It's just a matter of experience, right? You got to experience the game. Maybe as the winter goes on, he plays better, though. You give him a pair of skates, and he's good.
There, he's going to air it out this time, and it's going to go along the far sideline. I think Amako might have been the intended receiver. If not, no, number 14, rather, Kevin Pinheiro, and that'll bring us a 4th down. So the punt team coming out for Cranston East, and their defense comes up with the stop, but unfortunately their offense can't get much movement at all, 3 and out.
You see a little bit different styles here between Harding and Aviles-Santos. Harding seems like he'll get rid of the ball. He's not someone that wants to be moving around, reversing field in the backfield, and you like to see that. That's how you're going to have to play at the next level. Aviles-Santos, though, gets away with it, so you can't fault him for it necessarily.
Another punt coming up for Cranston East and almost blocked by the corners of the special teams unit for Cumberland. Larson is on the receiving end of this punt, and special teams unit for Cranston East comes up big, though, and meets them just about 4 yards after the catch.
You got to wonder if the Cumberland coaching staff's listening in on the broadcast because I told them to go after it, and they almost get it there.
1st and 10 now for Cumberland again. They came up short in the red zone on their first drive here of the second half. Their 2 scores come way back in the first half. Shane Meerbott, the wide receiver, senior, number 16, he had a touchdown catch, and then Dante Aviles-Santos had a 37-yard scamper for a score. But other than that, we haven't seen any offense at all, judging by that 14-0 score.
So if Cumberland is trying to become a championship team, this is where they need to smell blood and for lack of a better term, stomp on Cranston East's throats. So we'll see what they can do if they can kind of change that here and become that caliber of a team.
Handoff goes to Cole. Cole trying to get to the edge, and he is tackled, but he gets a 1st down. Stayed in bounds, so the clock continues to move, but Cumberland again looking to make this a 3-score game, and they've relied heavily on their 3 running backs and primarily Isaiah Cole here in the second half.
Yeah, so that's a great first punch by Cole. Punch him in the face, 10 yards. If they can get 10 yards a clip, they'll be in the end zone before you know it, and they'll be able to sit back and really use some of the clock as we move to the into this 4th quarter.
Kyle, you mentioned it, this idea of if Cumberland wants to really cement themselves as one of the best programs in the state, they're right on the cusp of it. They're always consistent. They always seem to at least win 4, 5, 6 games even. They're in the middle of the pack in Division I, but they can't get over that hump, as this again is Cole that takes it himself and gets a 6-yard gainer.
You can see some of that fight in Cole, and that's what you need. If you're going to be a championship team, what's going to happen is you're going to go through the offseason, you're going to get in the playoffs, and then you're going to have fights on your hands every week, right? You're going to have to fight for it. So what's interesting is you can kind of see the fight in this kid number 2, Cole, right? His legs are moving at the end of each play. He's gaining an extra 1 or 2 yards just by churning his knees, and he's holding on to the ball. That could be the difference between a semifinal game and a championship game.
Football is, of course, a game of inches, and we see it from this team. High snap, corralled, and Larson is met in the backfield. Big tackle for loss for the Cranston East defense. That's Josh Delgado, a linebacker that gets through the heart of the offensive line and blows up the end around.
So you wonder right there with another high snap if he has the option to keep on that, because the high snaps, you're almost not able to read it. And I'm not saying he does have an option here, but he's not. If he does, he's not allowed to execute it. And that's one of those things where you'll get away with it, and then all of a sudden in the playoffs you have a great nose guard and 2 go over the quarterback's head right when you can't have that.
Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 11. Shotgun snap again. He dumps it off. Out of the backfield, the running back again is Cole. Cole gets through the first tackle before he's finally met and taken down. See where they spot it, but that was Javante Jones-Clark on the stop. And I think he might be just on that line, depending on the spot by the official.
Yeah, so while they were relying a lot on Larson and Meerbott earlier, now they're putting a heavy load on Cole.
And I'm sorry, I had the line of scrimmage wrong. It's 4th and 5, a little bit longer than expected. And a chance again for Cranston East to get off the field and leave Cumberland without points. Only the 3rd drive combined in this 3rd quarter. Shotgun snap, pressure, throws it. He's got a man, complete, over the middle, and a touchdown for Jack Proctor, the tight end, a sophomore for Cumberland, and makes it a 3-score game.
Jack Proctor, a guy that Coach Lima mentioned to us as someone he's trying to get the ball in his hands. But what you want to look at right here, if we get the replay, Aviles-Santos, a little bit of pressure, able to throw this off his back foot on time to the bang post or that quick post, 8-yard break, and it's right on the money.
So the touchdown for Jack Proctor, and we'll take another look at it.
They bring the house, he throws it off his back foot. So that's a college-level play. That's athleticism. You can't really teach that. You can work on it a little bit, but he's able to execute it there.
So the 3rd overall touchdown of the day for Cumberland, 2 by air, 1 for Shane Meerbott, 1 now for Jack Proctor, 1 on the ground for Dante Aviles-Santos, and they finally get in the scoring column here in the 3rd quarter. We have a flag again, and it's going to be encroachment offsides against Cranston East. But they finally, we use the term finally because they put together really a just shy of an 8-minute drive to start off. They're left short. They force a 3-and-out. Couple penalties, a tackle for loss in the backfield from Delgado. They finally get in the end zone on 4th down, and their first score since the 1st quarter of play. This one is good, and that'll bring us to another break. 21-0 Cumberland over Cranston East.
Prestige Automart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, but the car is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Automart, a better way to buy a car.
Catch URI Rams football live as they take on Elon, Saturday, October 26th at 1 p.m., only on your view, Cox Channel 4.
The Clippers find the end zone for the first time since the 1st quarter, and a touchdown reception for the tight end and sophomore Jack Proctor. Back though, Stone Freeman, Kyle Rowley. The final 33.3 left to go in the third, so threes all around here from Cranston Stadium, and the Thunderbolts will get the ball back, Kyle, with just over a full quarter to play, really.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot. So like I said, even if they don't win this game, they're fighting for their season. They're fighting for their, the team, the school, the pride, the coach, because every turnaround needs to start somewhere. And if you let it slip and you go 0 on the season because you quit, it's going to be that much harder for the guys to believe in it next year.
A squib kick that is just taken right down by Cranston East, and a smart play from the Thunderbolts. That's number 26, Peyton Gilnolfi, the running back, freshman, 5'7", getting some special teams reps for the Thunderbolts, but a chance now for Cranston East to go back offensively. That's the offensive coordinator right there, Isaiah McDaniel, talking to his quarterback. And his quarterback going to get his play call and run out there. That's Ben Harding. And East looks for their first touchdown drive of the game. They got 27.9 left to go in the third.
Harding, only a junior, so we can see if he can come into his own right here. Like I said, every rep is important. You know, reps are at a premium in football. It's not like basketball or even baseball where you can go get batting practice, go get shots up anytime you want. It's tough to get 22 guys out on a field somewhere and get passing reps against a skeleton defense. It's just not there. So it's a lot of film work, and it's a lot of this. Just getting into games and feeling your way through.
Handoff went to Amwako, who gets a yard or two gain. And this should bring us to the end of the first quarter. Final 10 seconds rolling, or end of the third quarter rather. Final 10 seconds rolling away. Cumberland scores late in the third quarter, puts them up 3 scores, and they're up 21-0 when we come back, fourth quarter and more on Your View.
Prestige Auto Mart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, but the car is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car.
And now, your Game Time Minute. The top 2 teams in the country headline a can't-miss matchup this week. Number 1 ranked Mater Dei versus number 2 ranked St. John Bosco. The top 2 quarterbacks in the class of 2020 are going head-to-head. Future Alabama quarterback Bryce Young versus future Clemson quarterback DJ Weyoung-Lele. Now I know what you're thinking, I gotta make it out to this game. Well, good luck with that, because the first 3,000 tickets that went on sale sold out in less than 24 hours. One fan was even selling their ticket on Craigslist for $200. But you don't have to pay a dime to see last week's play of the game. In Arizona, it's Ironwood versus Centennial. Centennial's number 11, Andre Dembidi, makes the one-handed, red-handed 11-yard touchdown catch. This has been a Game Time Minute. For more high school football action, check out yourview.com.
And here we go, back inside Cranston Stadium, fourth quarter, and some energy on the field. Some dancers from Cranston East, and we go to the fourth quarter and onward here. Stone Freeman and former Brown quarterback Kyle Rowley getting ready for the final quarter, and Cranston East down by 3 scores. They got to put together an offensive drive here.
Yeah, they must. So, like we said at the break, we're going to get to see Cranston East throw the ball. We're going to get to see what Harding, they're pretty one-dimensional. They're admittedly one-dimensional. They haven't been able to get anything going in the passing game. Well, what better time to do it than right now when you need it, and you might be able to stay in this game by executing.
Ben Harding's going to take the shotgun snap on 2nd and 6. He'll take it himself. He's got a first down and a little bit more. Ben Harding trying to get away from the defender, and he's met. Takes 5 or 6 Clippers to take him down, but he's into Cranston East territory, and a good second down play for the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, so offensive coordinator Coach McDaniels goes right back to what it looked like was their game plan at the beginning of the game, is spread them out and use the quarterback on a lot of these run plays, these fake handoffs, and take it off tackle or up the guard gap. And if you remember in the first quarter, it was working. They were just stifled at different times.
Isaiah McDaniel played for Coach Centauri, and he's the school's basketball coach, so no stranger to Cranston East, and he's controlling the offense. This time, though, his running back, Andrew Nwako, gets met in the backfield. So Cumberland's defensive front, we haven't talked too much about them, but a rotation of defensive linemen. You're going to see as much as 10 different guys along that front four, and they get depth at the D-line, and we've seen it tonight. Haven't been able to get much going offensively and really in the running game for Cranston East.
Well, what you see right there is Cumberland's able to get into the backfield. And anytime you get into the backfield and disrupt the play, that gives you a great percentage that he's not going to make it into the secondary.
Harding with the snap again. This time he'll take it himself. Another good play from the quarterback, just a yard or two shy of a first down, but he'll bring up a third down and a chance to pick up the first down.
If you can break off 12, 13-yard runs like that all the way down the field, that'll still give them enough time to stay in this game. And I think with what Cumberland's doing, they've got a 4 shell. So they got 4 DBs in the game, which leaves only 7 in the box. And historically, or in the football world, if you see 7 in the box, they're 1 light.
True.
That means they're shading towards the pass. So like us, we thought they were going to come out passing. They come out running to go against, with the grain of the defense is what you call it.
True. 3rd and 3, so a third down and manageable play upcoming here for Cranston East. Another shotgun formation and a flag. False start against the offense. That's going to hurt them. 5 yards. Bring up 3rd and long now.
So what I was saying before is when you go into these shotgun sets and you look into the sideline waiting for a call from your coach, the linemen, you don't think about them. No one thinks about the linemen, but they got to stay in their stance for 10, 15, 20 seconds at times, and they get antsy back there. They don't even have eyes on anything. They're just staring straight ahead. So that you'll see that happen, and that's why you want to keep things going and have a rhythm to your offense.
3rd and 8. Motion in the backfield. Harding will take it himself, looking for a first, and he's got it. Another first down run for the junior quarterback. And he's getting active, mobile, too, for Cranston High School East, a first down.
Yeah, Cranston East doing what they do well, is running the ball up the middle, and it's working. That's about 13 yards a clip, 3 13-yard plays by the quarterback, and they're going to find themselves in the red zone if they keep executing this way. And, you'd rather see them get in the end zone and have a chance. They still can employ some onside kicks the same way Cumberland has. You got to remember, they're behind 1 possession. Cumberland has been onside kicking the whole game and has gotten one. So we'll see. Usually those things have a way of evening themselves out by the end of the game. So they're owed 1, I guess you could say.
9 minutes left in the final quarter. Shotgun snap. Handoff goes to Nwako. Nwako gets positive yards on this, just shy of the 30. And he's a very good athlete. Talked about it a couple times today, but Nwako has been almost intercepted a ball, recovered a fumble.
You're giving him credit for the almost interception.
Almost, yeah, almost. It was even I think I said an interception. And
you did. That was a gift.
Yeah.
But what Nwako showed right there is he's not afraid to put his head down and get 3 yards because he ran someone over right there.
And Cranston quarterback Ben Harding again gets the play call, runs back out to his huddle. Somebody to look out for, too. We talked about him on the defensive side, but he's playing guard. Left guard is Omar Reyes Jr. He's a senior for Cranston East. And that time his offensive line doesn't help out the quarterback, Ben Harding, but Reyes Jr. is getting some looks from schools like Brown and WPI, somebody that when you talk to the head coaches before the game, both just praise, and in particular his head coach, Coach Santori. Ray is a 4-year starter playing in his senior day and a 4.0 student, so that makes sense why Brown University would look his way. He's playing right in their backyard.
Yep, and as I've gotten more involved in the recruiting process and working with these local kids, you'll see guys and you'll ask, man, who's looking at him? And they'll say, hey, his grades. So it's good to see some of these guys out here on the field with the grades that match the talent, and they'll be able to take advantage and play in college.
East gets the corner and a first down from one of their wide receivers. And again, that is the wide receiver, quarterback, safety. He plays all 3 positions, Erod Millsette. Take a look at the play here. He comes out of the slot.
Another speed type sweep. And another pickup of 12, 13 yards. So, Cranston East got to be encouraged by what's going on here. But what you got to wonder is Cumberland willing to trade this long drive, in the fourth quarter? This is where some trade-offs start to happen. The game kind of morphs into more of a clock management thing. It's like a basketball at the end of the game.
Shotgun snap corralled by Harding. He's got nowhere to go, and he's just going to hit the deck.
So these shotgun snaps, they can be the same as penalties. If you're not consistent with it, what's a weapon for you becomes a detriment.
Now, based on the offensive line, Omar Reyes is playing a guard position, but Coach Santori said he is the best center he's ever coached.
Yep.
And again, when you see high snaps like that and things like that, it's high school. It's natural. That happens, but we've seen it on both sides tonight.
Yep.
It's the reason why the Clippers have their only turnover tonight. It can cost you.
There's just a lack of reps at the high school level. Like I said, reps are at a premium in football. So these guys will be fine as long as they keep getting reps and keep getting work. Good play by Harding there, just able to save another snap and get it out.
Ball is complete for Cranston East. That into the hands of Colin McGinnis, tight end defensive lineman in his senior campaign. 3rd and long.
You could probably tell that, I have some bias almost against the shotgun. Not that I don't like it at times, but no one is being taught how to get under center. And the advantage of getting under center is that you get those laces right away. You can get the ball out on 1-step and 3-step. When you're back there, every time you have a 3-step drop from the gun, you take 1 step because you realize you're short on time. It takes time for the ball to get there. Takes time for you to find the laces. So those are some of the things. Some of the advantages are that right here, he's already 7 yards back and no one can get to him.
And he completes the pass. And again, this is number 16, McGinnis. Back-to-back receptions for the tight end. It'll bring up 4th down. And no gain on the play.
So they'll, you would think they'll go for it here with 5:15 left. And they're going to have some sort of gimmick here, whether it be 4 verticals and 1 underneath route where they try to almost break like a kickoff return, get the ball in the hands of one of their athletes, make them think they're going to throw it past the sticks, and then sneak it underneath. So some sort of screen or big dig route where he catches it and then runs for the last 5 that they need.
And we're going to take a break on 4th and 17. Timeout taken. We're coming back with the last 5 minutes of this game.
You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YourView.com. YourView.com. You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YourView.com.
4th and long coming up here for the home Cranston East Thunderbolts. Thanks for taking some time out of your evening to spend it with us. Stone Freeman and Kyle Rowley on the call of tonight's game. And Kyle, a 4th and long. We broke it down just before the break, but what do you think we'll see here from East?
Yeah, they've got to throw some sort of intermediate route, I would think, unless they're just going to go straight screen, which would make him have to run for 15 yards. I don't think you're going to see that. I'd look for a dig route, something about 15 yards.
They're going to throw it, and that ball is intercepted and brought down inside of the 5-yard line, but really, if smart play would be to bat that down.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we were talking about earlier. They picked it off on 3rd down. That's fine. But on 4th down, you just want to bat it down, and then you gain about 25 yards there. So that's the second time that we've seen Harding in a tough situation. Like we said, he's not in good situations, so he's got to do something with the ball, put it in a little bit in harm's way. But when you've got a 4-shell or even a 2-shell with 2 safeties sitting on the hash, it's going to be very hard to throw a seam route or a post route down the hash. He's waiting for it. He's got better position than your receiver, and he paid for it on that one. He didn't pay for it on the last one. I think it was that second quarter.
True.
So that's why I said you want to run a guy up the seam and then take your outside receiver and run him underneath that. It's almost like a downfield screen, if you will.
Joey DeSalvo, the junior, comes up with the interception. That's number 11 for Cumberland, and their third interception of the evening. Clippers run the ball, and now this is where we'll really see them get to use the clock to their advantage.
Yeah, so, as Aviles-Santos progresses in his career, you'd like to see him right here use every bit of this play clock, start to become a game manager, learn that mental side of the game where you can really just put a team away with the savvy things you do in the second half. That's why it's so important to get out to a lead. With a lead, you can manage the clock. You can manage the decisions you make. When you play from behind, you're forced into positions like Harding's being forced into here and the Cranston East offensive coordinators.
So Cumberland comes back out. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. The handoff and a good beat from the defensive line for Cranston East. Now we'll take a look, folks, here briefly at the Prestige Auto play of the game. And this is a touchdown here in the first quarter to Shane Meerbott, and that's the Prestige Auto play of the game.
Like I said, Aviles-Santos showing the ability to throw that level 3 ball, high arcer over the shoulder of his receiver, hitting him just in stride there. And Meerbott, a guy that they always target in the passing game, and they're able to do it right off the bat in this one.
Yeah, Meerbott, one of those guys. And getting ready for this game, talking to different people that cover these teams, without a doubt that he's the guy everybody has circled that they want to see. And that, of course, is probably credit to his quarterback, too, and Aviles-Santos, just both of them superb athletes. Aviles-Santos throws from his own end zone, and that's incomplete.
So
fourth down.
You see Cumberland playing it pretty safe on the first 2 play calls, straight up the gut with handoffs. And then you see why on third down, because he kind of puts the ball in harm's way, throwing it out to the flat. Those are the only ones you can take for the pick six. Usually any pick six is in the flats. The cornerback makes a break on it. And I thought they had a chance there to make a break on that ball. But now with this punt, they'll end up somewhere near midfield.
2:55 left to go here in the fourth quarter on 4th and long. Punt team coming out, and it's again Dante Aviles-Santos, the punter, too, for Cumberland. He's going to punt from his own end zone. And Cranston East, their front line has been pretty good tonight. Omar Reyes Jr., Cody Leotar, Angelo Urena, and Josh Delgado. They've been really good up front. Their secondary, of course, has had some problems as the punt return is brought back inside the 25, so a great starting point for Cranston East. Receiving it was Tyler Pickney, and it'll be 1st and 10 from inside the 25.
No one wants to admit that they believe in moral victories, but you'd like to see Cranston East show some life here,
sure.
Put together a short drive, already close to the red zone, put the ball in the end zone, feel good, have something to build off for next game.
We talked about those front 7 for Cranston East. That's not to say the secondary is bad per se, but they're young. They have a lot of inexperienced players there in the secondary. They've started 6 or 7 different sophomores at the cornerback and safety position, and up to 4 freshmen have started there. The most amount of freshmen that Coach Centoria started in his secondary was 2 coming into this year, just 2, and that was way back in 2003, his first year with Cranston East. So again, he just has a lot of youth on both sides of his football, and this team can really blossom over the next year.
Yeah, a ton of youth, and hopefully they'll put together, in the second half of this season. I don't want to skip all the way to next year, but when you look at freshmen out there on the field, you can't help but think like, man, in 2 or 3 years they could be a formidable team.
Good point.
Because it's rare to get that much playing time as a freshman, as a sophomore.
Shotgun snap back to the quarterback again. The handoff goes to Mwako, and he's forced back. Inside 2 minutes left to go here in the fourth.
Cranston East showing some fight. On all these runs, what I'm looking for is, are they turning their legs? Are they pumping? Are they fighting? Or are they just going down and counting down the clock to get out of here? And it doesn't seem like that's in their MO. It doesn't seem like that's what they're doing. I thought the last run from Harding showed a lot of toughness.
And inside 1:30 now, and it'll be 3rd and 7. Again, that end zone is just in sight. They're in the red zone. Shotgun snap, fakes the end around, and keeping himself is Harding. Harding continues to fight inside of the 15-yard line, and it may have picked up the first down depending on the spot.
Another tough run, another run where he tries to put his head down, and another run where he pops up out of the pile and runs back for the signal from his coach. So a lot of grit. We got a guy down. Try to get a number on him.
A couple of trainers, Coach Lima over there for the fallen Clipper. We're going to keep it right here with 79 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. But again, a chance for Cranston East to put together a drive here on their final offensive possession. They had great field positioning on it. Their quarterback, Ben Harding, got his legs moving here in the second half. Their defense looked really superb in that second quarter, and the first 11 minutes of that third quarter coming out of the break, they endured. They were on the field for almost 8 minutes on the opening drive for Cumberland and ended up getting the stop on 4 downs. But then they gave up the touchdown to Jack Proctor, which came on 4th down. So really, they're one play away from this being a 2-score game and a chance to potentially make it a 1-score game.
Yeah, and so while, we're looking for fight out of Cranston East, this is also the time where Cumberland's supposed to make a big play here and take it out of their hands, take it 80 yards on an interception because they're going to be forced to throw and really show them, a lot of times you look at a game, you go, oh, is it closer than you thought, if they end 21-0, that's not much of an exclamation mark for Cumberland because other teams are looking at that score and there's a psychological advantage you're going for. You'd much rather have 28-0 go, oh, they stomped them. 21-0, people start to question you guys. They come out a little more confident in the playoffs versus you.
And Cranston East, well, their schedule, they're going to play North Kingstown next week, a league game, and then a non-league game against Cranston West, their home team their fellow home team here in Cranston on Thanksgiving. Rolled out, throws it, incomplete on the near side for Harding, so the clock will stop.
He's trying to do the right thing. He's got good timing. It took about 7 steps out on the sprint out, which is what you want. You want 5 to 7 steps, ball out of your hand. Ball came out of his hand just a little bit low and in the dirt, but he's trying to do the right things there. And he had a chance to score, I think, if he caught that.
48 seconds left on 2nd and 10. The rest of the way for Josh Lima and his Clippers. Cranston East, obviously, tonight looks like they'll move to 3-3 on the season, and then St. Ray's next week, back home in Cumberland before taking on Woonsocket in their annual Thanksgiving game. And then playoffs will be here this month of November, or the end of October, month of November. Flies by in high school football.
This season flown by, faster than the third quarter of this game.
That's right. Airing it out towards the end zone and just nicked away. Superb defensive play for Jaden Pimentel. Intended receiver is Millsette in the end zone, but a great defensive play from Cumberland.
Pimentel, a name you've heard a few times this game, doing his job. And this isn't a bad spot to put that ball for Harding. You would have thought his receiver would have a chance, but just misplayed it a little bit, and what you see is a breakup.
21-0, Cumberland looking to secure the shutout. Cranston East trying to fight on here in the final minute plus.
So without a first down, he's got 2 chances to throw darts into the end zone, right? Like, the closer you get here to the end zone, the more you can just stick one in the back of the end zone with a good pass. There's nothing defense can do against a perfect pass.
Harding's going to set up a screen play and not going to get much. Setting that up was to number 14, Kevin Pinero, junior 6'2", big target, just his first reception of the game. And a timeout is going to be taken by the Thunderbolts. We'll keep it right here.
And that's what Coach Santori said he feels very comfortable doing with Harding, is throwing those quick screens, throwing the quick to intermediate passing game. Where they haven't progressed to is those downfield throws. And I think that's why you see him throwing at the safeties a couple times. When I'm working with these quarterbacks, it's a matter of what routes don't you have, okay? So if they're in a 2 deep shell, I'm not going to throw a seam route, right?
Sure.
I'm not even going to think about it. So that's gone right off the bat. So now when I snap the ball, it's about eliminating routes and now knowing I only have 2 to 3 routes available to me. But if you keep all 4 or 5 routes in your head, that's too much to think about.
Sure.
It's the trick of the magician, right? Humans are not able to multitask, even though we all think we can, right? My iPhone's a multitasking device, but you can only look at 1 app at a time.
Sure.
Right? So what you want them to do is just limit those down to 2 receivers, make a decision based off 1 linebacker. Okay, so all I got to do, linebacker stays tight, I'm throwing wide. He gets wide, I'm throwing tight. That's about as much as you can do. So the trick of all these guys, the Peyton Mannings, the Drew Breeses, the Tom Brady's, is they eliminate options pre-snap and pretty much know where they're going to go with the ball before they even snap it.
You tell you played quarterback, huh?
For a few years.
Pretty extensive resume for you. Obviously, Brown, Hendricken, play in the Arena Football League, and this is This is pretty good, though, getting to do some TV, though, too.
I get to use 30-plus years of playing quarterback, and now it just spews out of my mouth in the booth.
Awesome stuff, though. 25 seconds left to go. Shotgun snap. They're going to throw it again towards the end zone, and that ball is intercepted. We get a flag, though, and might have defensive pass interference, and that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to go against number 10, Ryan Larson.
You like to see Larson finish the play there. You know, I think that could have been called on anyone. Harding put a ball up that was anyone's ball, which is, you can't fault him for that this deep in the game, but you see Larson trying to make a big play and comes down with the ball. A little bit too much shoving, though, as the ball's in the air.
So this will bring up, I think, 4th down again. Half the distance to the goal, though. So it'll bring him a lot closer. Ball going to be spotted at about the 5-yard line. So a chance again for Cranston East to find the end zone in the final couple seconds of this game. Harding rolls out. He's going to tuck it in. Harding looking for the end zone. Trucking, pylon, and they're going to say he's knocked down at the 1-yard line. Helmet came off for Ben Harding, and he's down at the 1. Cranston East has some timeouts to spare, but if he got out of bounds, the clock's going to stop at 9.8.
You know, Harding looked like a hockey player on this run right here. Not afraid to take a hit, not afraid to lose some teeth on it. Puts his head down once, puts his head down twice, reaches for the goal line while he's got 3 guys draped around him and looking at the ref like, hey, you missed it.
9.8 seconds left. It's going to be, I had thought they had said it was 4th down, but after the penalty, it became 1st down. Or actually, the officials are now going to converse about it.
Yeah, I think he got in.
I sure thought he did. He was right at the pylon. So the officials conferencing over this here.
So this is exactly what we're talking about, right? The hardest run we've seen all night by the quarterback at Cranston East. So that's something to rally around. That's all they're looking for. Do we have life? Does our leadership still believe in us? Because, you know, guys that are on the fringes, guys that haven't been around as long, guys that aren't quite in those key positions, look to the pinnacle. They look to the leadership to see, are we supposed to still be fighting? And he sent a clear message right there. Of course we are. We're going to fight till the whistle blows, till the bell rings at the end, or till the horn blows.
And Ben Harding has come out. Millsette comes in. And the Thunderbolts will have another play. Millsette back in at quarterback, and Harding came out. You got to think maybe because of that hard hit.
Millsette in the
snap.
game.
Millsette goes end zone, and wait, touchdown, Thunderbolts. So Cranston East gets into the scoring column, 21-6. The clock runs out to 0, but a good way to end it for the Thunderbolts and a good victory for the Cumberland Clippers.
Exactly what you want to see, them fighting till the very last second of the game and able to use their backup quarterback Millsette, their changeup, what they call their spark, with a setup from Harding. Millsette's able to sneak in from the 1, and that's it. That just, to me, just sends a clear message, something they need. It's not something they want. It's something they need for this team in order to show that they have life in them.
And the reason why Harding came out was he had lost his helmet on the play. You have to come out for 1 snap. So he did. Touchdown good, though, for the second-string quarterback, Millsette, on his senior day. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is very good. So a great way to end this game. Cranston East gets on the scoreboard, but Cumberland evens their record up at 3-3 after a great offensive performance.
Good win by Cumberland. They showed their prowess, that they're able to move the ball. They've got some kinks to work out, but what's a little more interesting right now, just the way this game ended, is you can even feel it in the crowd. They were excited to see that, how that ended, that they showed life, they fought, they pounded, they finally snuck in with 1 second, and you've got a crowd here on homecoming, on senior night, that's excited about Cranston East football.
The final score tonight, 21-7. We're going to step aside, but we're going to come back with some post-game and more. Cumberland wins tonight, 21-7. Keep it right here on Your View.
At People's Credit Union, we believe banking is more than just a thing you do. It's an important part of your bigger picture, a journey that grows with you. We'd like to help you with your financial roadmap, be your go-to. We believe in taking the time to know you, moving you in the right direction, and lending a helping hand by providing banking solutions that work for you and your family. At People's Credit Union, we believe in your dreams because they're our dreams too.
Prestige Automat, home of the guaranteed credit approval, or the car is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Automat, a better way to buy a car.
You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YourView.com. Tonight's Player of the Game is sponsored by Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car. Football fans, join us each and every Friday for some of the top high school teams from around the country on YourView.
You name a sport and there's avid fans watching. Nothing beats the passion and excitement of sports, and your business can be part of it all. Cox Media has the networks sports fans are watching, no matter which season we're in. Nearly 90% of sports on cable are viewed live. Cox Media can get your business in the game. Connect with local sports fans wherever they're watching their favorite teams. Your marketing game plan starts here. Reach any sports fan anywhere on any screen with Cox Media. Call 855-755-2691.
Prestige Automat, home of the guaranteed credit approval, or the car is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Automat, a better way to buy a car.
Nifty Car Rental's been here in New Orleans approximately 15 years. We called Cox in reference to a change, and they sent out professionals who assessed my building from telephone service to security. Nifty Car Rental's building was graffitied, and Cox's cameras caught the perpetrators within 3 days. I'm highly confident in the Cox security systems.
You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YourView.com.
The final tonight from Cranston Stadium, Cumberland 21, Cranston East 7, a spectacular game of high school football. And now, Stone Freeman up in the booth. I'm going to send it down to Kyle Rowley, who's on the sideline with the Prestige Auto player of the game. It's Dante Aviles-Santos.
We are here with Prestige Auto player of the game, Dante Aviles-Santos. Talk to me, Dante, about that game, how you guys feel, especially as an offense right now.
I think we feel pretty good. We're getting the right calls. People are making the right plays, and it's just a collective effort.
You were able to, you had 2 in the air and 1 on the ground. You came out strong on the first drive. Were able to pull the ball out of your running back's stomach and get into the end zone. Talk to me about that read option and what you guys are looking for there.
I mean, we're just looking to make the right play there. Nothing too simple. Just make the right play and move on from there.
Fooled us.
Well, we've got you're right in the hunt of the playoffs here, and talk to me about the temperature of the team, what this win does for you guys, what you guys' expectations are moving forward, and where you guys are just as a team in the playoff hunt, in the championship hunt.
This was certainly a big win for us. It puts us into a better position because all the teams in our side are kind of like around the same area, so this puts us a little ahead, hopefully. And we're just trying to move forward and just get a check at the end of the week.
I think so as well. We got Coach Josh Lima here. Coach, give us a few words about how you feel as a team.
I think we played well at points. You know, first quarter we played great, and then second quarter we just couldn't get it done. You know, and then in the third and fourth it was, you know, we scored and the penalty dropped us back and things like that. You know, so we're happy to get a win, but obviously not the way we wanted to do it.
Right, you know, you sputtered at times, but it looked like a high-powered offense that a little bit plagued by penalties today, and I know you guys are hunting for a championship, so hopefully you can get that figured out. But back to you up in the booth. We appreciate it, guys. Great win. A win's a win.
Thank you.
Final tonight, Cumberland 21 and Cranston East 7. Stone Freeman back here inside Cranston Stadium. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from today's contest between the Clippers and the Thunderbolts. This was our first score of the game, and the quarterback, player of the game, Dante Aviles-Santos, fakes out everybody, takes it himself for the score on the read option, a 37-yard scamper to put Cumberland up at the time, 6-0. Now they would go for one? No, they're going to go for two. Why is that? Well, Ryan Larson, a wide receiver and a holder, kind of muffs the snap but takes it himself. His athleticism gets to the pylon. 8-0 Clippers over Cranston East. The Clippers, though, would add to their lead late in the first quarter over the top to Shane Meerbott. A basic route. We talked about it all. Contest with Kyle. An easy one for Shane, one of the best wide receivers in the state. 14-0. Cranston East now driving this one in and out of the hands of the running back, Andrew Amako, and it's picked off by Aiden Farry, one of the best linebackers on Cumberland, comes up with an interception to halt the offensive drive. Clippers now driving again late in the third quarter on 4th down, and the tight end gets involved. It's Jack Proctor, takes it himself to the end zone off of another touchdown pass from Aviles-Santos. He had 2 of those on the game. Now late in the fourth quarter, or rather midway through the fourth, Cranston East driving, an end around up and through, continuing a first down drive for Cranston East. It's Eron Milsette again. Milsette would come in later for a touchdown run, but before it was the first string quarterback, Ben Harding, who got knocked down at the 1-yard line. His helmet came off with 9.8 seconds left to go in the game. He had to come out, and then it was a 1-yard touchdown run for Milsette that gave Cranston East their one score. 21-7 is the final. Cumberland takes down Cranston East. For Kyle Rowley and for our entire crew here with Your View, we are saying goodnight from Cranston Stadium. We'll see you folks later.
Game Time High School football action on Your View is sponsored by Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car. Football fans, join us each and every Friday for some of the top high school teams from around the country on Your View. Live streamed games, in-depth behind-the-scenes coverage, podcasts, and more. Check it out at yourview.com.